Hello, welcome to the Fanfic Majesty. 14 Op FLS. Chapter 301. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Dong dong. Oimo and Cassie, who were ordered to capture Tom, returned soon. Let go of Uncle Tom. Let go of that stinky old man. That stinky old man is going to be defeated by my cannon and cannot be taken away by you. You big, unpleasant guys. Creatures with coarse pores without underpants. A long distance apart, I heard two extremely quarreling sounds. Shin Luo saw at a glance a teenager in a checkered shirt and bottoms and another teenager in blue who were fighting with each other at Maria's door. Leave Tom down, I'm going to judge him, said the old whitebeard of the three-headed Baskervilles. Quickly confess how you helped the evil pirate Roger build the big ship and help him achieve the crime of the evil escape. Old man Whitebeard continued, don't hide anything, our stern judge will take everything you have committed. The investigation of the crime is clear. Man, there is nothing I dare to face, but I didn't commit a crime. Tom was wearing shorts, and the horns on his head began to shake with excitement. A frog named Hengang next to him kept biting the arms of the two giants 17 and even hit the ass of the giant with his head. Man, said the hated man in Baskerville hurriedly. No, you are stubborn and you want to aggravate the crime. Baskerville's man with small glasses snatched. The vessel Roger Oro, the evil pirate, was designed and built by Tom Studio. Asked the old whitebeard in the three-headed Baskerville. Advertisement. Roger is a good guy and someone worthy of friendship. He is qualified to let me build a ship for him. I have no fault in building a big ship for him. The ship is not good or bad, only the people who use the boat are good or bad. Roger's boat Oro the same is true for the ship. The Oro was indeed built by me, and it is the most successful ship I have built. The man will scream in the face of the ship he built. There is no need to conceal anything. Holding an iron chain, the man with the bold words, guilty, engraved on his arm directly stood up and pronounced Tom guilty. No trial. I'm found guilty. No trial. I'm found guilty. Immediately, two French dog teams from both sides rushed out. One of them wanted to capture Tom on the spot or execute them on the spot. Hold on. Shin Luo walked out. Why is there something wrong with the plot this time? Shouldn't these people take Tom back? How to do it directly now? Who are you? Are you Tom's accomplice? Otherwise, why are you so anxious to come out to cover him? Three-headed Baskerville said, you have to dare to protect this person, that is, against Marine and world government. You have to think clearly. Up. Oh, you are the enemy of the world government. I need to be your enemy. A joke, the world government is my defeat. Shin Luo showed a strong momentum and directly shook the surrounding world government and Marine personnel. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Your kid seems very arrogant. Oimo and Cassie are ordered to take this man back to Judicial Island for trial, said the three-headed Baskerville. Hee, do you think Oimo and Cassie will still obey your orders? Shin Luo laughed wildly. Why not? They are the loyal guards of my Judicial Island. Not soon, three hypocrites. I will reveal your ugliness step by step later. Shin Luo smiled. What are you doing to me in a daze? Yes. Oimo and Cassie stepped out one step at a time, and slapped them at the little different Shin Luo. Advertisement. Shin, be careful. Lu Ju cried out worriedly at this time, and she covered her eyes with fear. With such a powerful palm, Shin Luo might be shot into a cloud of blood. Wouldn't he teleport? Why don't you move away? Danger. Don't worry, I promised you to watch a good show of dog biting a dog, and it will make you enjoy it. Shin Luo remained motionless. This kid is going to suffer. The French dog team and the guilty jury laughed wildly. Huh. Cassie's stick fell directly, and a strong wind blew up. Giant soldier pirate group. Green ghost Dongli and red ghost Brokey. Shin Luo said softly. Captain Dongli. Deputy Captain Brokey. You know them. Who are you? Where are you from? Where did you meet our captain? Where are they now? Oimo and Cassie stopped at the same time. Actions. You are like this. Throw all these running dogs from the Judicial Island out of the Island of Seven Waters, so that these guys who don't know what to do, soak in the sea water. Shin Luo sneered. Your captain was not caught by them. They were framed by design and are now fighting each other on a small island on the Grand Line. Shin Luo continued. Nonsense. The three-headed Baskerville yelled angrily. Don't believe what he said, quickly listen to what I said and arrest him. No, this man is very guilty and execute him for me. After he is executed, I will take you to meet your captain. Otherwise, I will use a vicious scheme to harm them. Using poisonous tricks to undermine them. It seems that your heart is really vicious. No wonder the last time I saw Dongli and Brokey and they vomited blood, it turned out that you secretly framed them. Shin Luo remembered the rewards more than 20 years later. The people at Studio Jin really killed Dongli and Brokey by poisoning, so Qin Luo planned to frame the three-headed Baskerville. It was me who framed it secretly, but if you don't teach this kid, I will order to poison them now. Three-headed Baskerville directly intervened. 750. Advertisement. A big stick fell directly on Qin Luo's body. Wait. Zephyr was shocked. Moonwalk. Shave. Zephyr Moonwalk came over directly, and it was a cruel move against that stick. The mace that was attacked was directly cut into pieces. Get off. My captain is dying. Cassie kicked Zephyr away. Zephyr didn't react, and then Oimo on the other side slapped Qin Luo directly. Arrogant. Qin Luo was really laughed at. The two giants were brute force but no brains. He persuaded each other, but what happened was like this, which made Qin Luo's old face not know where to put it. Physical body. 20 paragraphs. Qin Luo directly confronted the giant with a fist. Bump. He fisted the giant and blasted away. Do I need to tell you a lie? Your captains are fighting each other on a certain island now. You are not worried at all, but now you want to kill me as an insider. Qin Luo kicked at the Kashi again, and directly dented into a big hole. Ah, the giant is down. I was slapped away by a slap. Oh my god, run. The guilty jury immediately wanted to slip when it saw something bad, and the frightened French dog team left with them. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Chinese MTL fan fiction, second element novel can be read at hotmtl novel for free. Advertisement. Percent. Chapter 302. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. The giant fell to the ground and directly crushed the fragmented island residential building into powder again. Yes. I'm really stupid. I want to kill this liar now. Brother, tell me the address, I'll go to my captain. Oimo, who got up, suddenly realized, and then slapped it and went straight to the three Basques. The head in the middle of Will slashed over. The three-headed Baskerville directly cloned into three pieces. You three traitors. The three of them were photographed by a slap. Under panic, they lost their understanding for many years and ran away in three directions. Three Baskervilles. Zephyr looked at the situation in front of him with a dull look. They had never had any intersection with the judicial island before, but they had also heard of the three-headed Baskerville judge. They did not expect to encounter it this time, and saw their true colors. Three liars, where are you going? Cassie and Oimo were completely angry. These three guys lied to themselves for so long, it really made them feel that their self-esteem has been hit by 10,000 points. They want to vent all their hurt feelings on these three swindlers. So there was a magical picture. Cassie and Oimo grabbed a boat pole and smashed it directly onto the ground, chasing the three little butts. The three people fled around, swaying like mourning dogs. Advertisement. How about this play? Okay. Qin Luo turned to ask Lu Ju. Secretly said in his heart, this is not the One Piece version of the Lords of the Beacon drama. It's okay. Lu Ju's own man is One Piece. Of course, he can understand Qin Luo's feelings at this time, and naturally he will not do anything that is not conducive to Qin Luo. Ah, help, Zephyr. The three cried frantically. Qin Luo, look, Zephyr also wants to be a good old man, but he asked Qin Luo just now, and now he asks Qin Luo again. Don't look at me, let them beg me by themselves. Qin Luo hates other people insulting others the most. He doesn't have any abilities, so he gets Tom to be tormented and sent away. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. God tier, let us go, please. Among the three, the old man Whitebeard was the first to be softened. He ran over to hold Qin Luo's thigh, and the other two rushed over as soon as they saw this. Holding Qin Luo's thigh. Cassie and Oimo stopped in midair with big hands and didn't fall, then looked at Qin Luo to see what the boss had instructed. Okay, you guys get out of the way first. Let me talk to Tom. Qin Luo kicked the three of them away. It's really a tiger that doesn't show his power and treats him as a sick cat. Qin Luo asked the others to push away, and then asked Tom to follow him. Went inside a small bar. Tom, I have met Roger a few times. I am more familiar with him, and he recognizes me better. I think this time his business is hurting you. Look, do you want to follow me directly? Advertisement. No way. The man has to face the boat he made loudly, and I don't think I made a mistake. The boat is not good or bad, and the people who ride in the boat are not good or bad. Bad is the standard of evaluation. Uncle Tom, the result was a glass of wine handed over by the barman, and he drank upside down. Well, no one is bad, but the standard is broken. Yes, Roger also thinks that the world is broken, so he wants to inspire more people to go to sea to find their dreams. Qin Luo knew Roger's wishes, that is, to let more people rose up to resist. I understand your kindness, little brother. They call you Qin Luo, right? I heard that you come from a mysterious hidden power. What kind of place are they? A place that Roger has never been to before. Right. Tom obviously didn't want to struggle with that question. Yes, bars were not like this at the time. It was not our pirates' world. Our bars were places for picking up girls. Your ship is the size of a house, and our ship is already the size of an island. It's even bigger than Moonlight Mori. It's not painful for your shells to hit people. Our shells can destroy an island. Ah, why do you have such superb technology? I am yearning for it. I can introduce you a kind of technology. This kind of technology can be achieved by using your existing technological level. Chin Luo said casually. After suddenly saying it, my mind suddenly understood. Is it the concept of the so-called sea train that Chin Luo said to Tom? What technology? I don't know if you have heard of steam trains. Those things on land. Those things on land. Yes. Chin Luo nodded, seeing Tom's meaning as if he had never touched a steam train, but seeing Tom's very civilized technicians should be easy to accept. Advertisement. Simply put it this way, steam can be extracted from the boiling water, and the air inside can be compressed to a certain strength, and then it can generate a propelling force. We use these forces to generate a very powerful force. Push, and then pull these train cars to run. Let me draw a picture for you. Chin Luo carefully explained to Tom what he saw in the history textbook about the steam engine. Tom was originally a very skilled boatman. Of course, he knew this technique very concisely and clearly. Ah, my little brother, the technique you told me is really useful for our island of 7 waters. After it is built, we can completely rely on the limits of the wrath of the sea god. Don't worry about your own things being destroyed directly. This is really a clever plan. How many people will appreciate your great kindness? After Tom heard it, his digestion ability was very fast, and he quickly transformed this into practical use, directly solving the problem of the island of 7 waters. The wrath of the troubled Poseidon. This kind of thing was originally out of Chin Luo's consideration, he just hoped that the other party would get an atonement with this technology. By the way, this matter was passed on to you from me. In our hidden family, it is absolutely forbidden for me to talk about the technology and leak out, otherwise they will send many destroyers like Luyun. The soldiers came to chase me. So you must keep this secret for me. Chin Luo solemnly said that this concept must be originally designed by Tom, otherwise Chin Luo would not fit the situation. Chin Luo continued, Tom, I know you are a great man, but for the sake of my life, please keep this secret for me. I got it. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Chinese MTL fan fiction, second element novel can be read at hotmtl novel for free. Advertisement. Percent. Chapter 303. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Okay. That's okay. I've already prepared the way forward anyway. Just go. Tom, I believe you can benefit more people outside the prison. Not the so-called benefit of the world government. Chin Luo said. Little brother, you risked your life to help me solve the problem for me. We just met for the first time and you trusted me, so then I will entrust the most important thing in my life to you, so that we can trust each other. We are all great men. Tom said. When Chin Luo heard it, it felt weird. You are a broken shipbuilding studio. What use is it for me now? Is it possible that you, a shipbuilder, can give me more than 10 or 20 devil fruits? Estimated to be unrealistic. So Chin Luo wanted to say no. Little brother, I know you are not the kind of person who wants anything in return, but there is always a swelling in my heart. I need to find a trustworthy person for this thing. I have a feeling. You are that person. Tom seemed to see through Chin Luo and wanted to refuse, and quickly stopped Chin Luo. Little brother, I have a copy of this here, you save it for me. Tom took out a copy from his work bag at the right time, and then handed it to Chin Luo. 953. What is this? Chin Luo saw Tom's mysterious appearance, as if something really happened. What he handed Chin Luo was a blueprint of what it looked like. There is a peculiar feeling when starting this drawing. Chin Luo held it in his hand, opened it and took a deep breath. My God, this is not. This is a design draft. It has been handed down from generations to generations by my Murlocs. When it comes to my generation, I feel that it is becoming more and more insecure in my hands. I have always wanted to find someone to take over. Tom said. How good is this? If the world government can't find these things, it will never give up. Chin Luo has already seen these things. The mountain man has his own tricks. Tom gave a mysterious smile. Advertisement. You. Chin Luo took a deep look at Tom and thought of the future Luffy Straw Hat crew who came to the city of the 7 waters in the future, and Sobbingberg and Frankie, whose name had been changed, even if those CP9s were helped by Robin. After being unable to find out, we can see that Tom and his godsons are still good at hiding things and dealing with the world government. Okay. Then I will accept it, and the right should be kept by me. Seeing Tom's attitude, Qin Luo simply accepted it and took it as a help. Let's go. Tom accepted the design drawing of the steam train sent by Qin Luo. Qin Luo took a deep look at Tom's back, and felt an unbelievable moment, as if the story of the pirate was going to change beyond recognition because of Qin Luo. It seems that the butterfly effect is inevitable, and this butterfly is still very big. The drawing that Tom gave to Qin Luo just now is the drawing of the entire island of Seven Waters. There are also various hidden cannons and some unique designs. These designs directly give the island of Seven Waters an extremely terrifying firepower. And this is said to be related to Pluto, one of the three major weapons. Qin Luo also wants to see the true power of this Pluto, but for the time being, there is no chance. If you want to know the true power of Pluto, the best choice now is to go to O'Hara to find O'Hara scholars. Only then can we know the history of 100 years of disappearance. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Are the three major weapons coming to the surface soon? Qin Luo came to this world, originally wanting to become the master of this world. If he now mastered the three ancient weapons, wouldn't he be able to bombard celestial dragons directly? Mission to destroy the world government. Encircle and suppress Marine. Beat the Revolutionary Party. Habian 4 Emperors. Thinking about it this way made Qin Luo feel a little excited. What are the 4 emperors in the future? What are Marines in the Revolutionary Party? And what are the hidden strengths of celestial dragons? It looks like I'm going to O'Hara. 2 years later, O'Hara will be directly wiped out by the Demon Slayer Order, leaving only an 8-year-old girl Robin. Now Qin Luo feels that the time has passed. Coming more and more urgent, the best situation now is to directly find Robin's mother, Nicole Orbia. Let her interpret this design drawing to herself. Master. Mysterious energy is detected. Is it absorbed? Advertisement. Absorb. Qin Luo said directly with excitement. Zizi. The system issued a Zizi situation. What's the matter? What did you absorb? Qin Luo asked nervously, because this time Qin Luo didn't find any devil fruit. Why did the system pop up automatically, absorbing the mysterious power? Report to the master. Ah, there is a disturbance in the system. What happened? A string of powerful currents passed directly through the system, but suddenly disappeared. What do you mean? Things never disappear out of thin air, or are created out of thin air. Energy is conserved. Qin Luo feels his head is big. The physical principles he learned are completely useless in this world, not Newton's. The coffin board is almost out of hold. No, in our understanding, this is energy generated from the 4 dimensions, passing through our current 3-dimensional world, so it can either disappear out of thin air, or be generated out of thin air. The 4 dimensions are 1 dimension higher than us, so either rules of the 3rd dimension cannot be used to define what happens in the 4-dimensional space. What the hell is it? It's Sha Chong who can't talk about it. Quote. It just survives in the summer. For those who die at the end of the season, it is completely impossible for him to understand the existence of ice and snow. I know this. In other words, your system is a 3-dimensional, and was attacked by a 4-dimensional thing. Advertisement. Then you will suddenly disappear or something. Qin Luo is nervous, and the system in the science fiction film disappears if it encounters a change. After so long, there are still many feelings. Unknown temporarily. What is the mysterious power you just absorbed? It looks like a piece of waste paper. A piece of waste paper. Your uncle's, that's the design drawing about Pluto. My dear, Qin Luo just made a brand new blueprint about Pluto's drawing, and it has been absorbed directly now, and I will play it in the future. Damn it. Don't worry, I have an unforgettable function. I can find out the monitored video and restore it. Recovery. You never said that you still have this function before. Qin Luo muttered. If we want to observe something, we need to pass something similar to the video function of your human world. Of course, the artificial intelligence language is more advanced than your time. I don't know how many times. Yes, your uncle will not turn those children who are unsuitable for me and Tsunade into a small video. This is a real dog, wouldn't it be a mobile surveillance camera installed on my body? No, we won't pay attention to the owner's privacy. Please don't worry, host. The system explained. And DDD really made the restoration drawing of the design drawing. Oh, it looks like it. Do you know the text above? We make judgments by reasoning through existing experience and simple logic, so as to make intelligent judgments, but for those who have never seen and have no corresponding logical language, we are acquiescence. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Chinese MTL fan fiction, second element novel can be read at hotmtl novel for free. Advertisement. Percent. Chapter 304. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Okay. Don't pull the text. You just don't understand. You haven't seen these inscriptions at all, have you? Xin Luo disappointedly put the piece of paper into his pocket. Xin Luo left, brought Lu Ju to the beach, and said to Lu Ju, jump down. Rab. Xin Luo hugged Lu Ju and jumped down, and the rab whale opened his mouth to catch the two of them. Peach Rabbit. As soon as Xin Luo walked into the unique abdominal space of Rabu, Peach Rabbit came out of Kamui's space, and Peach Rabbit directly stuck Xin Luo as soon as he came out. What about the bad guys? Have you solved them? I knew you were the best. Taotu did not shy away from Lu Ju, and directly pressed Xin Luo's big arm with his full part. Okay. Don't hide. I'll tell you everything. Xin Luo first got away from Taotu, and then said to her, find out the blackjack. We are going to hunt for treasure. Yes. Go to treasure hunt. Taotu jumped away happily. Xin Luo and Lu Ju looked at the enthusiastic Peach Rabbit jumping around, looked at each other and smiled. Lu Ju smiled knowingly, while Xin Luo showed a wry smile. In a short while, Peach Rabbit got the blackjack out. Lead the way. Go hunt for treasure. Xin Luo exclaimed happily. Big brother, this ship can't go hunting for treasure. Advertisement. What can't? Where can't Rab go? Don't ink. Take us to the treasure hunt. After the treasure hunt, I have to go back to Shihai to do business. Xin Luo laughed. Rab has become their best means of transportation, and in the sea, there is no fear of sea kings at all, and there is no need to worry about wind and waves. Yes, yes. Black Jack put on Seastone. In order to survive, he could only obey Xin Luo's words. Where to go? Go west all the way. Good. Rab, all the way west. Xin Luo yelled boldly, and didn't notice the trace of cunning flashing in Black Jack's eyes at this moment. Black Jack took a deep look at Xin Luo. Look, everything has been arranged. This is probably its destiny. Xin Luo is now basically certain that Tom's reliance on the concept of sea train taught by him is enough to protect him for more than 10 years. Xin Luo also secretly took care of what happened in the plot 14 years later. Xin Luo has arranged a backhand to stop Cataflam, and it also draws attention to Frankie's future development of the canon thing. Xin Luo spent a day and a night in the sea with the Peach Rabbits in such a carefree manner. Xin Luo originally had a bad sense of the orientation of this sea, and was basically a road idiot. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. So Xin Luo directly used Rab as a navigator. Who makes the whale possess super ultrasonic positioning ability? It doesn't need to be a pity for such a useful skill. Why haven't it arrived yet? Xin Luo asked Black Jack, aren't you lying to me? It's almost here. Black Jack looked at the top of his head and smiled. Here, as always, there is still blue sky and white clouds, because this is what others painted. Almost there. Let's surface. Xin Luo said. No, we will fly directly out of the water. What? Fly out of the water? That can only be done by updraft. Taotu wiped his mouth. Advertisement. Yes, it's the updraft. What? Did you lead us to the Sky Island? The muscles on Xin Luo's face twitched. Of course, Xin Luo has no problem, but now I have people like Taotu, Lu Ju, and Lebu. Yes, the big treasure we are looking for is Shandora, known as the Golden City. Your uncle. Great treasure. Xin Luo gave this person a thud. Before he could continue to kick this girl to death, the whole person's body suddenly felt overweight. Rising. Rising. The expression on Black Jack's face was exceptionally wonderful. The pleasure of revenge completely surrounded him. If it weren't for Laozi's lack of points now, he would just draw the fruit and kill him now. Xin Luo used the repulsive force to float himself up and hug Taotu and Lu Ju on his body. Outside the Rab, the black air current swept frantically, and the sky was filled with countless black clouds. These black clouds seemed to be directly swallowed by a powerful air current. With a scream, huge water vapor rushed toward the face. A behemoth-like Rab was climbing around an oblong rock at this time. It was originally lurking in the water and rushed to the sky by the force of high-speed rising. Can you? The expression on Xin Luo's face became solemn. Peach Rabbit, take care of Lu Ju. Xin Luo used the repulsive force to float himself on the top of the small boat, put Taotu and Lu Ju down, and the small boat floated on Rabu's gastric juice. Xin, where are you going? Taotu asked. Looking at Rab's own words now, it will be very dangerous, and he won't be able to go up, but if he falls from here, Rab will be seriously injured even if he doesn't fall to death. Xin Luo said calmly. Then your past will not help. Taotu secretly said. Although Xin Luo is strong in her eyes, when faced with such a huge natural force, the manpower after all seems insignificant, especially now that he is going to protect Rab from the natural force. Trust me. Xin Luo smiled mysteriously. Advertisement. Ah. Before finishing speaking, Rabu's whole body turned over, and his huge body separated from the orbit of the updraft. A similar thing happened in the plot of Luffy's landing on the Sky Island. At that time, a Sea King's rose to half and fell in midair. I didn't expect this to happen to me this time. Rab, hold it up. Repulsion. Full level. Shin Luo floated out, and he saw the Rabu falling from the sky as if turning his belly. Shin Luo yelled at Rabu to hold it, and then he flew to Rabu's lower body by gravity. He pressed against Rab's lower body and yelled, full repulsion. In an instant, the power began to spread wildly with Shin Luo as the center, and a powerful repulsive force was emitted from Shin Luo's hands, directly pushing the Rab towards the sky. The surrounding rain, clouds and mist all fell on Shin Luo's face, and a large black cloud was directly above the Rab. Among the black clouds, the thunder was shining, and it seemed that there were tens of millions of volts of high-voltage thunder and lightning hidden in it. Full body level. ZZ. 2 rays of lightning fell on Shin Luo's body in an instant. Shin Luo hurriedly protected his whole body with a full body. The lightning flashed only leaving a string of electric current on the surface of the skin, and it disappeared directly after a flash. However, a little scar was left behind. Shin Luo thought that he must use the system's phagocytic ability to extract the blackjack's invisible fruit. This guy actually shaved himself a bit, which was too irritating. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Chinese MTL fan fiction, second element novel can be read at hotmtl novel for free. Advertisement. Percent. Chapter 305. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. A large cloud of confusion appeared in the sky. If the guess is correct, here is the White Sea. Are you here? Rab will withstand it. The one who has suffered the most lightning strikes is actually Rab. With such a huge body, I don't know how many high-voltage thunder and lightning it will provoke. I don't know if it's because of the Sky Island. The power of his overlord of the sea does not have much effect in this thundercloud. Full repulsion. Fully open. Call out. Shin Luo once again expanded the range of his repulsive force, trying his best to protect the Rab, and at the same time pushed the Rab directly up in a parabolic trajectory. After piercing the thickest cloud layer, that should be the White Sea. Call out. Shin Luo adjusted the repulsive force, and quickly resisted all the thunder and lightning with his physical body at full level, and pierced it. After passing through this cloud cover, he suddenly became enlightened. A large swath of white light shone in. Shin Luo felt a sense of collapse all over his body, although he was able to show power that was tantamount to natural disasters during destruction. But when he was contending with the mighty power of nature, his personal strength was still a little more reluctant. Shin Luo remembers that the aborigines of Sky Island should be in the Kingdom of God, Angel Island and the territories near Apayado. At the time, they were in the White Sea. Everyone who entered this area needed to pay 100,000 baileys. And people also call people who live here angels. However, Apayado was separated from Agaya Island on the ground. There are also the aboriginal people of Qinghai. In order to regain their territories and treasures, and defend the glory of their ancestors, they have been following up for a long time. The angels are fighting. In a certain corner of the White Sea, there should be a place called Bika, a territory that did not come from any road called the gods. Advertisement. This kid is arrogant, but Shin Luo would be happy to visit them if he has time. Above the White Sea, that is the White Sea where the inhabitants of God live. This Beibai place has bred a variety of shells with different magical functions, such as platoon shells, sound shells, wind shells, cloud shells, and flash shells. They are all obvious and very precious resources. The more famous ones are like platoon shells. Bei can absorb power and strengthen it several times before hitting it. The detailed information and distribution of these resources can be seen by Shin Luo from the story of the pirate. Unexpectedly, I came here by accident. Shin Luo showed a strange expression on his face. Priest of the Air Guard. Pirates invaded the White Sea. Suddenly a voice came from a cloud in front. Shin Luo immediately looked back, but found that there was nothing there. He wanted to see who the person was, and of course it was. Shin Luo didn't care, he was just curious. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Call out. Suddenly a very fast figure dashed through the clouds, and the white light behind it made Shin Luo feel a little dazzling, but this one paused, and the figure came in front of Shin Luo. Repulsion. Full level. Bump. The figure immediately bounced back in the opposite direction as a ping-pong ball hit the tabletop. The person who was bounced tried to brake to stop, but due to the excessive force, he immediately bounced out before touching the ground before rubbing, and barely stopped after a while. Advertisement. Shin Luo only saw something like roller skates on these people's feet, but there is a dynamic structure in the middle of these roller skates. The dynamic structure is just buckled on the skates, and the shape seems to be a kind of shell. Seeing this, Qin Luo knew that this should be wind-assisted skates, which can reach speeds that ordinary people can't reach on the Sky Island. Unsurprisingly, these people are Sky Island god soldiers, and it was their companions who attacked Qin Luo before. Who is the one? It's so wild on my sight. People, come out. The caller is standing in front of Qin Luo at this moment. In Qin Luo's field of vision, this is a black hair. The twist-like braid is raised up against gravity, his lips are pressed, his hands are crossed, his eyes keep moving towards on the turn. Ah, Lord Priest, you are rolling your eyes again. Don't roll your eyes, that person is right in front of you. At this time, the rest of the guards reminded the Lord Priest. The priest in their mouth is Nirvana. The equipment on his feet is more advanced and does not need the same shape as roller skates. It looks like ordinary shoes. The power unit is placed on the heel of the soul, flying in midair, and has extremely good steering ability, after proficiency as a sharp weapon for flying. At the same time, if it can be combined with the oval-shaped air-breathing shell on his elbow, he can perform super fast and powerful punches. Nirvana, dressed in purple, can't see people because of his habit of turning his eyes up. After being reminded by the guard, he hurriedly said, "Ah, I rolled my eyes again. Are you a giant? Why can I only see your feet?" Nirvana looked down, only to see Qin Luo's feet. "Little friend, what's your name? Are you suffering from polio, and your body coordination is so poor?" Qin Luo said as a confidant brother. "What? You dare to call our priest a kid? You don't want to live anymore." The other 5 guards showed up with the platoon shell, and then yelled that Qin Luo would be taught a lesson. "Don't underestimate my priest. If he is more powerful than you, he can be regarded as your grandfather." The Sky Island soldier who was bombed into the sky before came back with the wind shell. Gritted his teeth and said. Comparing ability. Qin Luo snorted. Su Zixia bluntly. "If according to your statement, there are so many people on the island, and when you see me, you will call me the emperor." Advertisement. You. That person was about to vomit blood. "Smelly boy. What are you talking about? Let us see the truth under our hands." Nirvana said with white eyes and her mouth tightly closed. Pointing to the air in front of him cursed. "Hey, I'm behind you." Qin Luo was about to be amused by him. "Smelly boy, look for 1.2 fight." Nirvana flashed, and quickly attacked Qin Luo with his fist. Repulsion. 8 paragraphs. An invisible and intangible energy spreads around Qin Luo, forming a protective shield with a radius of about 1 meter. It also made him fly about 1 meter in the air. Bump. The fist of the priest Nirvana who rolled his eyes directly hit the protective shield, and with a touch, his arm was shaken. Good strength. After Nirvana landed, Qin Luo turned his back to Qin Luo and pointed his finger at the air in front of him, apparently rolling his eyes again. "I won't forgive you this time." The backhand Nirvana slapped it over with a slap, and the speed was more than twice as fast as before. Bump. The protective shield quivered a little, and it did not shatter. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Chinese MTL fan fiction, second element novel can be read at hotmtl novel for free. Advertisement. Percent. Chapter 306. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Who are you? Don't you have a golden city? Lousy came to look for this. And what devil fruit you have, all you want to give me? If not, then write an IOU. Qin Luo's goal is very clear. Gold and devil fruit. IOU. What IOU? I owe me 500 devil fruit. Qin Luo said harmlessly. 5.500 devil fruit. Why don't you grab it? No, it's better than robbing. Qin Luo said his signature words during the robbery. Operation Sky Island God Soldier, help me take this madman's head off. I just looked at it, and this man's protective shield is almost broken. As long as we work together to attack once, he can be taken down. These credits, to God will see it all the time. By the way, I have a brain. You should have been together a long time ago, otherwise I will solve the trouble one by one. Qin Luo complained. The Sky Platoon shell and the Cloud shell radiate each other, and they directly collided with each other. One after another ray of light flickered from their bodies, and the gushing wind shell pushed them to move at a high 17 speed. There were about 10 air guard soldiers who came here. They waved up and down, and then surrounded Qin Luo from all directions, moving at high speed, depending on the opportunity to shoot together. Advertisement. With the high-speed rotation of the Sky Island God Soldier and Priest Nirvana, the surrounding clouds were either blown away or shattered. You miscellaneous fish are very annoying. I don't want to do anything yet. I have limited patience. I'm going to find my wife soon. Qin Luo said impatiently. Full repulsion. Bang bang bang. As Qin Luo used the repulsive force, a violent wave spread around Qin Luo as the center. Even the air was shaken away. Those who were shuttled in the air were directly hit by the powerful repulsive force. They approached Qin Luo's person was directly bombarded to spit out a mouthful of old blood, and then smashed into the air. With only one move, all the Sky Island soldiers present were knocked down. What kind of person is this? One move knocked everyone down directly. Nirvana, the captain of the air guard, saw what happened to the soldiers of the Sky Island. Running together, squirting out at the same time, bursting out at the maximum speed, barely avoided the blow. Do you think it's okay to avoid it? Qin Luo smiled coldly. Gravity is full. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Ah, what's going on? Nirvana was directly attracted by the strong gravity and flew to Qin Luo's side on its own. 20 levels of repulsion. A Ruoyorao force directly acted on the hanging Nirvana. Twist. The repulsion and gravity rubbed each other, directly breaking the wings of Nirvana. The clothes were shattered, and the body bleeds in many places. The original symptoms of physical incoordination were cured, and other minor problems did not recur. How about it? Is the problem of physical incoordination gone? Qin Luo smiled. Advertisement. Nirvana trembled in the air, and suddenly heard Qin Luo say this. The whole person almost didn't fall to Qinghai. I didn't want you to treat the illness. Well, I have cured your polio for so many years, so please feel free to give me some devil fruit. Devil fruit. Why I saved your life? Are you unhappy? Don't want to pay. You want to enjoy the overlord service. The expression on Qin Luo's face instantly deteriorated. Your uncle. When did Laozi want you to be treated, and you call it a cure? Okay. You owe me 50 devil fruits first. Qin Luo said, seeing a doctor with me is not foolish. 50 devil fruits are already an affordable price. What? You don't have that many devil fruits. Fruit. There is always one, right? What? No one. No one will be the chief guard without your uncle. Qin Luo's lungs are about to be blown up, and he is a poor ghost again. Our land is small. Nirvana pursed her mouth and was extremely aggrieved. Is your land boundary small? Where is it? Qin Luo asked. Bika, although our place is small, our boss Ani should have a lot of powerful devil fruit in his hands. He is quite stingy to us. The priests of us dare to be angry but dare not speak. Secretly, the boss Anilu is known as the existence of a god, and thunder and lightning can easily summon. Wait, go to Bakar, and don't kill your kid. Oh, in a small place like Bika, there is a brat called Anilu, right, but thunderfruit is indeed one of the most powerful fruits in Logia. Qin Luo said, completely unaware of Nirvana. Xiao Juju. Then do you want to go there? I can lead the way. The smile on Nirvana's face was as bright as a chrysanthemum. Advertisement. Go. Of course, why not go if there is devil fruit? Okay. You signed me the IOU first, 50 devil fruits. If it weren't for you to lead me, you would owe me at least 100. Devil fruit. Qin Luo said with a large amount of appearance. He took out an IOU from his pocket. When did you write it? Nirvana was completely stunned. The sentiment kid had already prepared a note. No, you register your identity information. Qin Luo said calmly. And the form. Nirvana was drunk, and I met his uncle's feelings and encountered a strong sale of devil fruit version. Acknowledge it, acknowledge it. You write your name under the column of Newgate 037 Edwards. Sengoku and Zephyr made a mistake before, resulting in a blank line without writing. You fill in the blank line to save paper, and probably pay back later. There will be many people who owe me devil fruit. What I didn't want, these people have to give me devil fruit. Alas. Qin Luo looked at the more and more names on it, and felt a sense of sadness. These names are getting more and more, and it is not easy to manage them well. What if I forget them in the future? 9.8 billion devil fruits. Nirvana glanced at him and almost fainted. Why? There is a problem. You have to write 50 devil fruits. You think the gap with Zephyr is too big, sorry. Then I will increase the limit for you. Qin Luo asked in confusion. No, nothing. 50 devil fruits are good. But where do these devil fruits come from? Basically, it grows in places where there is land in Qinghai. Qin Luo can't tell how devil fruit grows, but I heard that devil fruit appeared in a certain corner of the world, and then someone harvested it. Qinghai. Then I will return it to you in the future. Nirvana said firmly, knowing that if this god tier suddenly thinks of himself, he will definitely fix it for his own life. We still have to collect them quickly. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Chinese MTL fan fiction, second element novel can be read at hotmtl novel for free. Advertisement. Percent. Chapter 307. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Yes, you have to work harder in the future. Qin Luo agreed casually. Anyway, with his ability, he is not worried that these people will default on devil fruit. What he has is a means of collecting debts, so I don't worry about them not giving fruits. Come on, draw here. There is no Indonesia, just cut your finger and press it down. Wow, you almost cut off my finger. Sorry, I didn't control the strength, but it's okay. Press it down first. If you don't press it down, your head will fall. I think you are good. I will give you a preferential period, 23 years later. I will collect this account personally. However, what Shin Luo did not expect was that after Luffy defeated all the 4 priests of the Sky Island and Ani Lu after 22 years, Nirvana did not follow Ani Lu. Instead, he went to Qinghai, and then found the forest guard and Tuji. The guards, and then let the soil guards specifically look for devil fruit, but also fulfill Shin Luo's request. Bika is a small empty island. There is a small village on the empty island. It is surrounded by many wind turbines like wind power generators. The ground is green with green grass, and clusters of flowers bloom randomly. Of course, the most conspicuous thing is that there are rows of apple trees lined up here. What makes people feel strange is that these are obviously empty islands, relying on clouds to exist. There is no bath, no soil, these are how to survive. What about advertisement? Boss, you are usually so handsome, all-knowing and omnipotent. Can you tell me how these apple trees grew up without soil? Taotu wears a cheongsam with a hole in his chest. Shuangfeng is even bigger than Mount Fuji. Gracefully stands proudly, and hung on Shin Luo's arm with both hands, rubbing Shin Luo constantly with his pair of big pigeons. Without Tsunade being in the way, Taotu's ability to act cute and act like a coquettish becomes more and more powerful. Why do you have so many tricky and weird questions? Shin Luo pinched a peach rabbit's waist. Don't you see that there are a lot of black wood chips under these fruit trees? They are all wood dust formed after high-temperature incineration. Shin Luo has just subdued Nirvana, the chief guard of the air, and found Rabu nearby. Now because he is afraid that Rabu lacks oxygen, he hides Rabu in the sea of clouds. Then he pulled Blackjack, Peach Rabbit, Lu Ju, and Nirvana and landed on the island of Bika. There are no trees in the sky, where does the wood come from? Taotu asked weirdly. Go ahead, Lu Ju. Shin Luo glanced at Lu Ju who was eager to try, and then said. This question is not difficult to answer. Sister Taotu, it's like this. You see that Qinghai will produce a period of updraft every certain period of time. It is the long cylindrical super large ocean current we encountered before. They are formed by the seabed pressure and the special climate of the Grand Line. Yes, all the pirate ships and warships in Qinghai nearby will be brought up. Naturally, there will be wood. Maybe they will also bring apple tree seeds, so they will be collected and used to form the current apple forest. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. That's right. Shin Luo gave Lu Ju a thumbs up, and Roger's woman was not easy. Where? Lu Ju blushed. Suddenly someone under the apple tree in front screamed wildly, ah! It's so miserable. It's dead. Advertisement. The attention of Shin Luo and his group was attracted by this strange cry. Shin Luo glanced at the man. The clothes he wore were the same as those of ordinary villagers. There was nothing special about the turban and straw sandals. What's wrong with him? It's so miserable. Taotu showed sympathy. Preparing to pass. Hold on. Don't go. Nirvana said suddenly. Boom. Kang dang. At this moment, the sky suddenly became densely covered with clouds, and a loud thunder fell from the sky, directly turning into a thick thunder light. Then the lightning flashed, and it happened to fall on the person who was yelling in despair just now. Ah, it's a god. It's a god who is angry. Those people nearby heard the loud noise here, looking nervously in the direction of the person, and then leaned on the ground and moved far away in the direction of the thunder light. Kneeling down. Oh, what's going on? Shin Luo took a weird look at the situation just now. Because of his better eyesight, he just saw the thunder light before falling down. The man was holding an apple in his hand and praying constantly, but thunder light he directly hacked this person to death. He angered Thor. Nirvana said. Thor, what is it? Shin Luo curled his mouth. Advertisement. Ah, don't you say that. Thor can hear anything. Just now that man was sitting under an apple tree and resting, causing an apple to fall and hit him. Such behavior is disrespectful to God, so the gods blasted this person to death. Nirvana explained quickly. In fact, Nirvana knew that Shin Luo was also an arrogant person. The more he said that the gods should not be offended, the more likely he was to directly provoke Anilu, the god of thunder, and when Anilu dropped thunder and lightning, he would be completely killed. What? Why did you kill someone just because an apple was smashed down? Which law is violated? How could this be disrespect to the gods? This is murder, a life. Taotu said angrily, killing innocent people like this. The atrocities still exist in every corner of the world, and they are not uncommon. It's really unforgivable. If you see this god, you must knock him off the throne. Even if you can't, let Qin Luo run him to death. Because apples are Thor's favorite fruit and a tribute to God. At any time, Thor requires his people to treat apples as respectfully as they treat him. In Bika, Thor is an existence that transcends everything. No one can treat him. No one dared to slander him publicly or discuss secretly in private, because he could hear him. I am an all-knowing and almighty God. Nirvana said. You said he can hear my every move. Qin Luo didn't seem to notice the intimidation and said directly. Yes, if he knows that someone does not recognize his thunder god status, he will be furious, and then impose a divine punishment, not to mention death. The people next to him may be affected. Nirvana said. Hey, Analu, your tortoise son, Laozi is here today to collect the corpse for you. Of course, if you are willing to help me find 1,000 devil fruit, I promise to let you go. Now you just have to bow your head to me. Just call twice. Well, am I very magnanimous? 1,000 devil fruit will let you make a living. This is worthy of your dog's life, and I can be regarded as benevolent. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Chinese MTL fan fiction, second element novel can be read at hotmtl novel for free. Advertisement. Percent. Chapter 308. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Qin Luo was too troublesome and too lazy to find Analu, so he irritated Analu and let him come by himself, then beat Analu until he was convinced, and then continued to think about how to maximize the use of Analu to collect devil fruit. Quote. The sky was quiet. Everyone present was shocked. The residents of Bika looked at this person in strange clothes who didn't know where he came from. They couldn't understand how this person dared to yell that Thor is his dog. Isn't he afraid of God's punishment? Oh my goodness, does this kid want to be so sturdy? The people present were as if they were held down by Boa Hancock's petrification technique, completely immobile. They dared not do anything for a while, fearing that they would be affected by God's punishment. Oh my, Thor is about to get angry, so he can't run away. No matter where the 5 people here are, they are dead today. Don't run into this muddy water. Run quickly. Brush. The residents on the scene immediately ran back to their houses, and then snapped the doors and windows closed. Of course, I don't want to be ashamed. It's just that when there is a thunder, you can feel safe when you close the door. That Qin Luo. No, big brother, can I leave first? My god, Nirvana has seen people who are mortal, but I have never seen such people who are mortal. Who are these people? They are so messy. I didn't stop Qin Luo for the first time, because I was shocked by Qin Luo's boldness. Advertisement. It seems that the voice is not loud enough. You hear it, there is no sound. Qin Luo pulled Nirvana and said, is my voice not loud enough? You yell with me. What? If I said that it was petrification, now Nirvana feels that I am completely crippled. Big brother, I can't. I have a strange disease. As long as I shout out, my heart will fail. You don't want anyone to retrieve those 50 devil fruits for you in the future, right? Then what should I do? I yelled for a long time, and Analu wouldn't bark twice. It's really annoying. Qin Luo stared at the sky with a helpless expression. This is too shameful, right? No thunder. Is there any way you can give Analu a final letter? If I don't come out again, I will uproot all his apple trees so that he can't eat apples for the rest of his life. Qin Luo continued to ask. No. Nirvana was upset when he heard that he wanted to stimulate Qin Luo. Then Qin Luo provokes Thor and asks Thor to kill Qin Luo, but this scene is completely out of control. He doesn't want to be left behind by Thor. Angry to death. What do you look at? Don't hurry up to cut down all the apple trees. This shit Thor, you don't have the guts. Hurry up, you blackjack. Nirvana, you also roll over and cut down the trees. Qin Luo was furious. Are all these people raised to eat dry food? Oh, I forgot that Shemale King. If this person is injecting some excitatory hormones into these people, maybe they will all go to dig apple trees. Quote. Nirvana suddenly felt like he lifted a rock and hit himself in the foot, which was completely pitted himself to death. It's not that Blackjack didn't see the scene just now. I joined his uncle. It was thunder, and the bowl was thick, and it was cut directly at the head. It was nothing else. His uncle's was thunder. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Qin Luo reluctantly kicked the grimacing Nirvana and Blackjack alone, urging them to do it quickly. In a short while, all these apple trees were uprooted by Blackjack and Nirvana, and were thrown under Qinghai. Sneezing. A flash of lightning suddenly lit up in the sky. Blackjack and Nirvana shivered. The two ran around in a hurry. As a result, they ran in opposite directions in a panic. When they bumped into each other, the two directly stunned each other and fainted. What thunder and lightning! Where is it like a god? The expression on Qin Luo's face showed a constipation look. Could it be that this person went to sleep? Boom. Sneer. Advertisement. My apple. A flash of lightning flashed in the sky, and a black cloud flew towards Qin Luo strangely. He Fang Xiaoxiao is making trouble here. I am your uncle. I seem to have heard the barking puppies just now. Qin Luo doesn't care which fairy Analu is. What are you doing here? Conquer you and occupy the empty island. Qin Luo said. Yahahaha, what a joke. See if you can take a trick from me. There was a strange laughter in the dark clouds. Wang Wangshan, you robbed my lines, let me see if you can catch my move today. Qin Luo was very depressed, this kid actually robbed his own lines. Arrogant. God's sanction. In the dark clouds, the thunder light is full, and a person is wrapped. His earlobes are very long, seemingly lazy, yawning, and the other hand is pulling out his ears. There are 4 taiko drums on his back. Each taiko drum represents a kind of power, respectively. For birds, beasts, and dragons. He is sitting on an ark that uses thunder and lightning as a driving force. The ark is called Proverbs. It can cooperate with the dark clouds generated by the ark and use laying after Analu's own ability. Its power can instantly transform an island. Destroyed. At this time, he struck the taiku representing the dragon twice, and immediately stored his own energy, until the 4 taiko drums at the back began to emit a slight light. 200 million volts. God's sanction. Advertisement. He turned his wrist into a thunder, and with a movement of his mind, a huge electric pillar of thunder fell down, destroying the heavens and the earth. Boss, be careful. Taotu took Lu Ju away from this place with a solemn expression. The mountain rain is about to come and the wind is all over the building, and the black cloud is about to destroy the city. At this time, the dignified aura on the field is about to suffocate Taotu and Lu Ju. A large black cloud has already formed in the sky, like an embryo conceiving a devil, and the clouds are filled with bursts of super lightning beams full of light. Small bugs. Qin Luo is not afraid of thunder and lightning at all, and yells at the sky, the flesh is at full level. Qin Luo still remembers the plot in which the protagonist makes the corpse puppet he made alone confronts the thunder in the sky in Dobro. It can't help but be amused. In front of the full-level body, thunder and lightning. Paralysis. Asphyxia. Burnt. Everything doesn't exist. Analu, I said that I only use one move. Even if you hide no matter how high you are, thinking that I can't see you, are you all right? It's useless. Qin Luo laughed wildly, I will never do it again after one move. Shot it. Arrogant. That way, since you will never make another move after one move, I can do it too. Analu on the ship laughed wildly. You don't make any more moves after one move. That's because I maimed you. Qin Luo laughed wildly. Full-level eyes. White eyes. Both eyes opened the gaze of the road ahead. Rocket hammer. Qin Luo concentrated the power of his full-level physical body on his fist. Using the power of this fist, he hits directly against the black cloud, and his fist brings a powerful wave towards him. Annie Road. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Chinese MTL fan fiction, second element novel can be read at hotmtl novel for free. Advertisement. Percent. Chapter 309. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Proverbs. Absorb thunder and lightning, increase it. With a loud bang, the giant ship of Proverbs on Ani Road rumblingly moved around, and the thunder and lightning all over the body began to gather frantically, emanating from the top of the bow. There was a loud noise, and then a huge discharge thundercloud was soon introduced. Go. God's verdict. Boom. Frame. A huge white light, full of thunder light the size of a ship fell from the sky, and its momentum alone directly shredded the surrounding clouds. Chong. Qin Luo pushed his fist out, and hit the white light directly. He wants to try, is his full-level physical body powerful, or the 200 million volt current boosted by the Proverbs? That kid is really not afraid of death, what is his origin? Nirvana said to himself, and was directly shocked to the ground by the momentum in the sky. He is a god from the devil, and we can't find anyone on the surface comparable to him. Except for the legendary Red Earl, he is the strongest man on the surface. Black Jack also said limply on the ground. Then who will win? Undoubtedly, it is. Black Jack's words were directly swallowed by the loud noise of thunder. It's too late to say, then soon. In midair, a huge thunder light directly collided with a humanoid person. Kong Kong. Touch. Analu was watching the thunder light inside, suddenly his face turned pale with shock, and in the next step, his chest was directly penetrated by a punch. Even Logia's people didn't have time to transform into a fluid body, and he was directly penetrated by a punch. Ah! The entire White Sea was suffocatingly quiet. Advertisement. It's so horrifying. Nirvana clenched his lower lip, motionless. This man was so terrifying. It was just a punch, which directly penetrated Any Road, known as the Thor, and this was still under the horrible increase in the huge ship of Proverbs. God is dead. Gosh. Those who hid in the cabins were completely messed up, rushing around. That's their God. Soon there was a long road with a white cloud bottom flying out of the sky. Behind it was written fourth generation, a young man standing long, staring into the distance. Get up, Analu. You don't die so easily. Shin Luo said a cold word. Boy, you are so mad at me. Proverbs. The big ship crushed a large cloud layer, revealing a complete hull. The hull was floating cross-legged in midair, panting, staring at Shin Luo, as if to eat Shin Luo in one bite. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. You don't have to be angry later, because a dead person won't be angry. Shin Luo showed a wicked smile. You, arrogant. I have arrogant capital, but what about you? Rubbish. All 4 priests come out for me. Analu was originally a proud person, but he encountered a person who was absolutely abnormal. This time he could not let this person block his path in any way. Kill him. Analu said angrily. Hey. I am the guardian of the trial of the ball, Dao. At this time, a man with the appearance of a meatball jumped from the giant ship of Proverbs. There are always many meatballs flying slowly around him. The cloud-shaped sphere is always floating constantly, slowly surrounding Shin Luo. I am Shira, the guardian of the trial of rope. Flew out from behind the ship of Proverbs, a man with goggles and wings on his back. The mount was a huge guide bird with triangular eyes and pupils. Xiao, said to be the most dangerous heaven knight among the 4, mastering the trial of rope. Advertisement. I am the guardian of the trial of iron. One person rushed out on the squirrel shell, holding an iron sword in his hand, and a lot of auspicious clouds floating around him. I'm Nirvana, the chief guard of the sky. Nirvana didn't intend to say it, but Analu stared at it and had to say it. Come on, teach me this kid harshly. Come to our empty island, pretend to be forced. Analu touched the boat of Proverbs on it with both hands. Just now, although his heart was stimulated by the cardiac thunder and lightning pacemaker, it stimulated the heart to live. Came over, but still consumes resources. Do I need to pretend? Shin Luo laughed wildly. Even if I exaggerate my current ability 100 times, I still haven't lied. If you want to go up together, I'm afraid you will go up one by one, and some of you behind will be unable to help running away. Shin Luo continued. You, brat, how old are you? Kill him. Use your strongest tricks to kill him. At this time, Analu laughed wildly, pinching a powerful golden pillar from his hand. A powerful current passed through, and the high temperature continued to ferment. This golden gun quickly passed through a string of currents, and the original blunt weapon immediately changed. Become a sharp gun. Surprise cloud. Dao shouted, the trial officer of the ball. Iron cloud. Cried the iron trial officer. Charge. The heavenly knight held a spear into the sky, then fell, and slammed Shin Luo straight. Strike the shell. Nirvana released the yunbei in his hand and directly killed Shin Luo with the help of the cloud. Rei Shinso. Unwilling to be lonely, Analu flew down with a single shot. Haha, you are all tricks of carving insects. Shin Luo smiled slightly, and murmured in his mouth. With a repulsive force of 10 meters, he immediately raised his whole body by 10 meters by his side. An invisible form was formed within 10 meters of the surrounding area. Quality and powerful protective cover. Bump. Advertisement. The surprised cloud floated over, banged, and exploded directly. The iron cloud turned into iron thorns and stabbed over, but was blocked from advancing. The big-mouthed crow led the Sky Knight into the air. Before rushing over, the entire face was directly covered by an invisible layer. Nibbana has a foreboding, so nothing happens. Zizi. The Shinso was wrapped in a powerful and thunderbolt and directly nailed to the protective cover. It seemed to the people outside that it was a golden gun pinched by some kind of huge force. Carry on. Surprise Yun and Tai Yun once again gathered to attack the past, triggering a burst of powerful explosive 2.7 attacks. Okay, seeing how hard you are, I just let you go one step ahead. Shin Luo looked helpless, and it was your expression on me. Shen Luo Tianzheng. The repulsive force rolled over at full level, and almost instantly bounced all the people around him. Don't you want to rely on the broken ship of Proverbs to hit other empty islands? Shin Luo's first hand directly pinched Any Road, who had been punched through his chest just now by himself, and was now resurrected. I can let them go, but you, Analu, I won't let you go. Do you know that there is a trick called lifting you to the sky and then throwing you to the ground? Shin Luo laughed wildly. This person is lazy on the surface, but he is actually a very cruel monarch. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Chinese MTL fan fiction, second element novel can be read at hotmtl novel for free. Advertisement. Percent. Chapter 310. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. I don't know. You want to experience it, right? If you want to experience it, just nod. Qin Luo squeezed the tyrant's head and nodded. Quote. Hi, your uncle, Analu was pinched by his neck and couldn't say a word at all. He is still pinched. Right. I have forgotten. Let's try this earth-throwing trick. Qin Luo grabbed the person, then rushed into the sky like a rocket, and then used the repulsive force to spin in midair, and then raised his head high and threw it directly towards the ground. Boom. Like a cannonball, Analu directly pierced the giant ship of proverbs that was about to set off to invade other countries on the island. Bump. Ani Road rushed down, hitting Yundao, and a huge crater was smashed. The center of the crater centered on Ani Road, and the surface of Yundao quickly cracked. There was still a layer of white sea below, and then it penetrated directly from the White Sea, and it was about to penetrate from the White Sea into the midair, and then fell into Qinghai from an altitude of 10 kilometers. Want to run? Qin Luo suddenly discovered that this man named I-15 Nilu was so treacherous that he wanted to escape. Gravity. Full level. The clouds on the ground seemed to have received some kind of strong traction. The falling clouds and loose clouds swarmed towards Qin Luo, and the clouds quickly wrapped Qin Luo into a big fat man. Call out. Accurately catching Analu's limp body, Qin Luo directly soaked Analu in the sea water. Analu had fainted and slowly woke up, and then saw Qin Luo in front of him. In a blink of an eye, he passed out again. Advertisement. It's really not hit. Qin Luo had a strange expression on his face, and asked the rest of the guards, "Hey, do you guys know where Analu's treasure house is? Are there 70-88 devil fruits ready for me? If not, I will break his motto ship to pieces." Qin Luo looked helplessly at Analu, who was frightened, and then asked others. The 4 guards didn't know, but they didn't seem to know it. No. The 4 guards shook their heads in unison. No. You guys are also a god anyway, how come you don't have a treasure trove? No. You owe them all to me, write to me, Analu owes me 80,000 devil fruit. Go and write me a copy. Isn't Analu Thor? Has he fainted? How does he sign and draw? The 4 guards had doubts in their hearts and wanted to ask. What's not? I said yes. Hurry up and cut off his finger to draw me. Qin Luo shouted. When the others heard Qin Luo's tone, it was obvious that Analu would be dangerous. The paper has been established. The 4 guards said. Take a sword, cut off his thumb and give me a handprint. Qin Luo had clearly felt that this product was not dead just now, and now he was lying on the ground pretending to be dead. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. No, I'll do it myself. Analu woke up abruptly, immediately signed the paper money in his hand, cut a small wound, and then pressed a fingerprint. It's pretty much the same. Let me go to the island of gods now, and you will collect devil fruit for me. After the collection, go to the island of gods to find me. Qin Luo said. Island of the gods. Analu looked dumbfounded, and he was called Thor. Then the island he now lives on could also be called the island of gods. Yes, his position is right. Qin Luo told him the location of the island of God on the empty island in the White Sea, and later found devil fruit to find him Qin Luo. Is it the place of conflict between the Sandia and Angel Island? Analu asked. Yes, there is gold there. Qin Luo said. Advertisement. Oh, Analu's eyes flashed, and he also wanted to use gold to build a new proverb. With the new proverbial gold body to build a new golden spaceship, this is the ultimate goal of Analu. Okay, you are not allowed to go anywhere now. Collect devil fruit for me honestly. 70,000 devil fruit, remember. Qin Luo said harmlessly. Qin Luo took Rabu, Taotu, Luju, and Black Jack all the way to the gate of Beibaihai on Baihai Road. Behind the gate is the avenue leading into Beibaihai. Suddenly Qin Luo remembered that Analu's eyes were not quite right. He obviously dropped his proverbs boat and owed Qin Luo 70,000 devil fruits. He was so excited that he couldn't understand. Is he also a masochist? Qin Luo shook his head. Boss, what are you thinking? Taotu patted Qin Luo on the shoulder. I always feel that Analu was weird just now. Qin Luo lay on the beach inside Rab's belly. Suddenly, Rabu turned sideways. If it were not for Qin Luo's rapid repulsion, he might have eaten a mouthful of sea water. What's the matter, Rab? Qin Luo hurried out. Rab turned out to have reached the gate, and saw a grandma-like angel standing above the gate. Wearing a dress and holding a telescope in her hand, she said mechanically repeatedly, Pirates of Qinghai, go up and collect 1 billion extras. Patter. Rab flicked his tail wildly, and sprayed a mouthful of seawater directly onto the man's face. Rab's appearance seems to be saying, "Lousy, can't understand your bird language, but you must have never thought that my master would make me treat you like this." Glancing at the backflowing Gate River, Rabu rushed directly up. Advertisement. The old grandma was splashed with seawater, her face was trembling with lips, and she picked up a whistle in her hand and blew it into the air. BWGB. B. Chin Luo just came out after Rabu attacked sideways. He happened to see Rabu rushing up to the waterway 280. The countercurrent sea water directly pulled Rabu up the waterway. The waterway went from low to up, and once again lifted. Speed. Call out. Rab rushed directly to a large area of the sea and quickly landed. Chin Luo got down from the door of Rabu, and originally planned to invite Tautu to go up with her, but she didn't expect that it would be inconvenient for her to come to her aunt. Shoo. As soon as he stepped on the soft shore, he saw a sound of screaming. Chin Luo looked up and saw a little white fox, screaming and screaming. Chin Luo was about to pet him. He only heard a roar coming from behind Rab. Chin Luo turned around and saw a motorboat. On the motorboat was an old man sitting on the motorboat. The old man was thin and had a ball of hairy beard. There was a pair on top of the motorboat. The tentacles like a Schaefer. "Who are you? Let's go, there is someone behind." The old man did not brake. Seeing Rab deviated from the course, he slammed the motorboat and crashed into the rock. The old man screamed for pain. Shoo. The white fox quickly crawled over and licked the wound on the opponent's foot. "Old man, you are injured." Chin Luo said. "It's okay," the old man said faintly, and then fondled lovingly. "It's me who is the father. Pega is useless, and I didn't even protect my children. I am damned, in the end, she actually." Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Chinese MTL fan fiction, second element novel can be read at hotmtl novel for free. Advertisement. Chapter 311. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. "Old man, your name is Paigaya. Didn't you just tell me to leave? What's the matter?" Chin Luo asked. "If you want to ask sincerely, what's the matter?" At this time, after Chin Luo left, I remembered a noisy sound again. Chin Luo turned around and saw where the sound was coming from. At this time, there were 4 or 5 people arranged Yunbei and Fengfengbei on their feet. "Then we will reluctantly tell you. Shit angels, get me out of Gaia Island." The man who took the lead had dark skin, a dragon tattoo on his arm, a burning cannon in his hand, and his feet. An airship made of squirrel shells is stepped on. "Ah, the war ghost is here. The war ghost is here." The Pega shivered as soon as he heard this voice. "Why, you people from the Sky Island, are you still looking for the pirates from Qingdao to help you? We are going to let you all die here today. Pirates, report your name." The war ghost Wayapa's face follow the lines drawn by the eyes and become savage. "My name, I'm afraid you haven't heard of it. Chin Luo, forget it. These people should be the ones who were flying into the sky 400 years ago to become an island in the sky. They came here just a few months ago. One Piece is in the world, so the other party shouldn't even know him. I knew, you must be an unknown little pirate in Qinghai." Mantis Commissary, wearing a pair of red round sunglasses and a burning fire sword in his hand, stood out with a laugh. "Little praying mantis, you are very famous. Come and listen to your name." Chin Luo almost didn't spit out a mouthful of water. "What's the matter? You actually asked your uncle's name. I'm afraid it will scare you to death." Mantis comically said. "Don't talk nonsense. Kill all these little guys. These people who help those white wings on the Sky Island are all enemies of our Shandia clan. If we want to restore our holy land, we can't treat us. The enemy is soft-hearted." The war ghost Vaipa roared. "Kill these little guys. Recover our holy land." The praying mantis comically laughed wildly. "Kill Xiaoyu. Restoring the holy land." The people who followed with artillery, flying swords, and long swords shook their arms and shouted. "Hello. Ha ha ha." Tautu laughed wildly. "Boss, they said you were a kid, ha ha ha, they laughed at me." Advertisement. The routine immediately rolled on the ground. Black Jack's face was dark, and he secretly said, "These unseen scumbags. Okay, what's so funny?" Chin Luo had a black line on his face, and was annoyed by Tautu's expression. "Don't ink. Kill me. Wait a minute, the beret police team McKinley appears, which is very bad for our situation." War Ghost Wipa said. "Kill me." Mantis Kamikili chased and laughed. "Ha ha ha, oops, my stomach hurts when I'm smiling. Do you want to kill me so you can kill me?" Tautu's eyes curled up with a smile, beautiful as a crescent moon. Quote. Chin Luo couldn't say a word, raised his hand and said, "Or, let me say a word." I'm afraid I won't have a chance to say it later. You guys are quite enlightened. Tell me, we'll give you time, otherwise the head will disappear. After the mantis Kamakili finished speaking, the people around laughed frantically. Okay, let me just say one thing, I'm not a little girl. Shin Luo also felt that there was nothing to say. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Who are you? The praying mantis Kamakili laughed frantically. You stinky boy, try one more sentence. Shin Luo immediately showed a black air on his face. What's the matter with you? You are not a kid. Let me tell you, with such a weak body, it seems that you can only love one person in your life. The praying mantis Kamakili laughed lasciviously. Quote. Shin Luo is also really speechless. This group of people is really young. Okay, come and kill me. Seeing that you are so behaved, I will leave a whole body for you. Mantis Kamakili smiled. Little ones, look at how I kill this little man. Touch. Suddenly the flame sword on Mantis Kamakili disappeared. Advertisement. Where is my sword? Mantis Kamakili called. Isn't your sword in my hand? Shin Luo applied a force of gravity to the flame sword. Why went back to you? Bring it back to me. Okay. If you can hold it, I'll give it back to you. Shin Luo smiled. Okay. Mantis Kamakili claimed to be the strongest warrior of the Shandia tribe except for the war ghost Vipa. Be careful, Pega called. Hammer him to death. Most people didn't see Shin Luo clearly. The praying mantis Kamakili strode forward, showing his strong muscles, and his fist came out. Have you ever seen a big fist like a sandbag? Kill him. The others yelled frantically. Watch me kill you. Praying mantis Kamakili jumped up and slammed Shin Luo's chest with a fist. But soon a powerful counter-thrust force directly knocked people into flight. Bump. The man was hit and flew directly. Brother, why didn't you beat him away? Shin Luo looked at the man who was flying away with an innocent look. Just now, he directly bounced the man away with repulsive force. You, who are you? The war ghost Wayapa looked at this weak man in horror on his face. None of their Shandia people is so thin, but how can this man be so strong? Is it a shaman? Advertisement. Me, I'm Xiaoyu. Shin Luo smiled harmlessly. You don't look like it. The war ghost Waipa also knew some strange strangers, so he felt that the person in front of him might really be strange strangers. Some eyesight. Shin Luo smiled slightly, approving. Master Wizard, please come with me, we Shandia need you, said the war ghost Vipa, speaking respectfully. Yes, Shin Luo thinks about it. He really doesn't remember how Cloud Shinobi village in Shandia left. Of course someone would follow him there now. You, don't go to Shandia, that's also the place where savages live. Our Conus must have been eaten by them. Pega cried to death, originally trying to pull Shin Luo. I remembered that Cornies was taken away in that small village. He was very sad. You know, Shandia and their Angel Island people have opposed each other and have been fighting endlessly for 400 years. It's okay, I will come as soon as I go. Shin Luo said. I'll go too. Taotu said coquettishly. That's fine, let's go together. Shin Luo laughed. Just go to see Cloud Shinobi village. Are you our mighty boss? War ghost Waipa asked cautiously. No. Shin Luo said, let's jump down. Boom. Shin Luo pulled Peach Rabbit and Black Jack and jumped straight down. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Chinese MTL fan fiction, second element novel can be read at hotmtl novel for free. Advertisement. Percent. Chapter 312. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Are you going to fly over? The war ghost Waipa asked. Can't it? Shin Luo looked at Shandia and everyone in shock. You can. Shin Luo saw that the people of Shandia instantly became extremely respectful, and for a moment, he thought that his ability to fly directly without the help of Kongbei scared them, because Analu has always existed like this. Seeing the people of Shandia looking respectful and approaching the enemy, Shin Luo gave up the idea of flying over directly. He didn't want to be shelled by the villagers as soon as he arrived at the gate of their village. Rabu. Shin Luo yelled immediately, and a huge whale emerged from the water, and several of Shin Luo fell onto it steadily. Please. Everyone in Shandia knew that the war ghost Vipa must know something. Seeing that the war ghost Waipa treated Shin Luo so respectfully, they followed suit. They were all shocked by the hand just now. Let's go. Shin Luo turned around and asked the others, what are you doing in a daze? Cloud Shinobi Village. Located in the depths of the Bye-Bye Sea, this place is simply a sky and an underground compared to the island of Deza. As everyone approached, as soon as you walked into the clouds and mist, you could see a tall figure standing upright in the air, giving people a kind of shock. Qin Luo hadn't reached the Cloud Shinobi village, but from a distance, he saw the tall figure 313, holding a sword in both hands. The sword was placed between the feet and stuck on the ground. Master Wizard, this is our great warrior Kalgora. 400 years ago, there was a big change in Gaia Island. He led us to fight with the group of people in the sky and died of exhaustion. He is the best in Sandia. Respected warrior. And he loves making friends, and he once made good friends with Rolando from Shanghai, said the war ghost Vapa. Rolando. Qin Luo searched, but couldn't remember the name. Advertisement. Let's visit Rolando. He is also a great traveler. We still have a copy of Rolando's travels here. The war ghost Vapa excitedly introduced Qin Luo to Qin Luo. He is the bloodline of the great warrior Kalgora. Like his ancestors, he likes to associate with people in Shanghai. Wipa, are you back? Go to see the chief. The chief is looking for you. At this time, a man in a gown on the upper body and an apron on the lower body came out from a tent. Bram, does the chief look for me? That's okay, you can take this wizard from Shanghai and take a tour, said the war ghost Vaipa, and he didn't know what the chief was looking for with him. This time the expedition is no different from usual. Are you from Shanghai? Bram said. Yes. Tautu replied. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Then follow me, and I will take you to visit our Cloud Shinobi village. Bram had no affection for the pirates in Shanghai. He didn't expect that the war ghost Waipa would be so reckless, and brought the Shanghai pirates of unknown origin to Cloud Shinobi village. Their Cloud Shinobi village was a place they built to escape the gang of Sky Island, and now it is exposed to the Shanghai pirates. In order not to expose Cloud Shinobi village, these pirates must stay here for the rest of their lives. Bram showed a wicked smile. Okay. Qin Luo didn't know this man's tricks, but just agreed casually. This way. Bram walked to the front of the crowd, leading the way for Qin Luo and others. Advertisement. Qin Luo followed this person all the way. Peach Rabbit was very interested, and Black Jack's expression was a bit weird. He felt that there was something wrong with the person called Bram in front of him. Where does this road go? Tautu couldn't help asking. They didn't have so much fog in Cloud Shinobi village just now, but when they entered this place, the fog here became more intense. It is obviously not suitable for humans to live here. A gloomy wind poured directly into everyone's necks. Where to go? You came to our Cloud Shinobi village. You probably have heard of a shrine. Bram sneered. The altar. Why did you bring us to the altar? Tautu said in a puzzled manner. Qin Luo looked at the person in front of him calmly. He didn't know before, but now he finally remembered. 400 years ago, Rolando rescued a woman from the altar. That woman was meant to be dedicated to the constrictor, and that woman was the daughter of the great warrior. He and the warrior thus forged a deep friendship. God, please come out and bless us Sandia, let us drive away those people from Sky Island as soon as possible. Regain the Holy Land. Bram ignored the Tautu and suddenly prayed towards the altar. Where are the ghosts and gods here? Tautu was puzzled. Come out. God Shandia. Bram's expression on his face became more admired. Dong dong. Suddenly the ground trembled inexplicably, and a black patterned figure quickly emerged from the ground. When it moved, it continued to make a sneer. Advertisement. What is this sound? Tautu said. Yes, it's a snake. The muscles on Black Jack's face were twisted. You say this. God, please bless me. Bram stepped away early and hid in the mist. Dance with the gods as much as you want. Pirates of Shanghai. Kaka. With a loud noise, the black shadow fell from the sky, and soon fell on top of an abandoned ship next to the people of Qin Luo. The black shadow rolled over and immediately crushed an entire hulk to pieces, splashing everywhere. The hull parts of the ship continued to sink. Go. Qin Luo called, grabbing the arms of the two people and jumping away from the place, away from the hulk. I advise you, it's better to give up resistance. Our God is willing to enjoy you, it shows that you have forgiven your crimes. It is helping you atone for your sins. The man hidden in the clouds laughed frantically. You probably thought of something wrong. Qin Luo said calmly, it is not the second Rolando you greeted back, but the first god. God, don't be funny. This Bram originally wanted to talk, but suddenly found that his body was flying up involuntarily, and he left his hiding place with a scream. Immediately afterwards, someone pinched his neck and lifted it up directly. How about it? Do you believe that I am your god? Qin Luo's voice fell into this person's ears. You, what kind of magic do you use? Bram said. I'm a god. Open your eyes and watch. What is the power of a god? Qin Luo sucked sharply and directly pulled out the big python that had sunk into the bottom. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Chinese MTL fan fiction, second element novel can be read at hotmtlnovel for free. Advertisement. Percent. Chapter 313. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. This big python didn't know what was going on. Originally, it only showed a pattern, but Chin Luo's head was immediately grabbed by Chin Luo's hand. God. The expression on Bram's face was dull, and the world was too crazy. Is this the god in your mouth? Chin Luo lifted his hand and flicked the boa constrictor from the left hand to the right, turning the boa constrictor over. Ah. Is this the god you believe in? Chin Luo waved his hand again, and the boa constrictor was slammed into the distance by gravity. Chin Luo didn't know where he threw this big python, but threw the big snake easily. Chin Luo's first hand threw Nabraham to the ground, then clapped his hands and prepared to leave. Chin Luo and Tautu walked in the same direction when they set out again. Walking back to the Cloud Shinobi village, it was the war ghost Waipa who walked towards him. Chin Luo told the war ghost Waipa exactly what happened. That big boa constrictor, right? The war ghost Waipa whispered, that is our chief's tool to rule us. Most of us, especially the descendants of the big warrior, hate the big constrictor. Oh, Chin Luo smiled slightly. No matter what position the big python had in the heart of the war ghost, Chin Luo wouldn't care. By the way, sorcerer, did you just throw it out with your bare hands? As a descendant of the great warrior, the war ghost wants to use powerful force to recover the Holy Land in the Sky Island, where there is the forest and land they want. Throw it out. Chin Luo pointed in a direction. Advertisement. Ah, that's the direction of the Holy Land, and it's also the lair of the old thief Ganfuer from the Sky Island, said the war ghost Vipa. Oh, Chin Luo was just thinking about why this big python is in Cloud Shinobi village, because of the situation in the plot that we have seen before. This big python should be staying in the holy place, but it was because of her own. Throwing him with bare hands, he was thrown into the holy ground. Actually, it doesn't matter if it is eliminated, but I don't know how to explain it to the chief. War ghost Vipa said. Tell him, I am a great wizard. Chin Luo said. Call out. Suddenly a pet like a small fox came out on the ground with a squeaking noise in his mouth, shooting. The expression on Chin Luo's face became weird. You mean this little civet cat? War ghost asked. Yeah, hey, it's not. It should have appeared next to Konis in Sky Island. Why is it here? Isn't the girl that Pegoya said before was referring to Konis, and Konis was caught here? Don't worry about it. When it comes to the boa constrictor, the great wizard, shouldn't it be the case? Most of them are now rushing to the altar, and they want to participate in the sacrifice. I will send you all away before they come back. Zon Ghost Waipa said. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. No, I'm going to find someone. Chin Luo said. Who are you looking for? Do you have a woman from the Sky Island angel race? Chin Luo asked. I heard that it was the little girl from Sky Island who was arrested this time for sacrifice. I think she looks white and pure. A pretty little girl. Zhang Gui said. Shoo. At this time, Chin Luo screamed from inside Chin Luo's arms. Advertisement. It's really a great wizard. This is usually not caught by anyone. The speed is amazing. Only a great wizard will catch him. Zong Kido. I didn't catch it, it jumped up by itself. Chin Luo said. Dearly, this fox has become a spirit. Chin Luo estimated that he should have some of Paigaya's aura on his body, so it was so close to him. It deserves to be a great wizard. The ghost was completely convinced. Even a proud person like Zhang Gui admires Chin Luo's unpredictable ability. Where was the girl taken? Chin Luo asked. Near the sacrificial altar. Then go. Chin Luo said. Do you need a mightier airship? War Ghost asked. No. Chin Luo refused. After jumping to the surface of the water, Rab appeared at the right time. Chin Luo and several people crossed the water directly. In less than a minute, Cloud Shinobi village was left behind. When I came to the altar of worship, the area around the altar was already full of people. Standing in the middle was an old man in a large white robe, holding a weird sutra-shaped thing in his hand, and muttering words in his mouth. God, come out quickly, and we offer you a great gift. Bless our Shandia regaining the Holy Land early, and welcome you back to the Holy Land for resettlement, where is our home. After the man in the big robe sang the text, then pray and bless. The people worshipped piously on the ground. Your gods have already gone to the Holy Land. At this time, an extremely disrespectful voice came from behind them. The man in the big robe and a group of people immediately looked back, only to see a blue whale that was bigger than the boa constrictor in their mouth appeared in front of them. The blue whale opened the mouth of the blood basin, and then 3 people slowly walked out of the mouth of the blood basin. The first one wore the 4th generation cloak and tight-fitting clothes. Advertisement. Who are you and why you still don't kneel down at my altar? The white-robed man asked. Kneeling. I only kneel to my parents at home. I don't kneel on heaven and earth. Why should I kneel on a stinky snake? I'm not afraid of losing life. Qin Luo rushed over as soon as he came here. What kind of evil is that? When the white-robed man saw a figure rushing out, he immediately drank it, and then a few guards rushed out and put the sword directly on the little girl in white, to prevent them from stealing the sacrifice. 0. Hey, you are Ko Nisi. Qin Luo stepped forward and asked. You stop. Are you a pirate in Qinghai? Stop it. The white-robed man shouted at this time. You know I am the chief, and I shouted from the heights to ensure that more than 100 people will directly bid for you. Killed you. Konus, I am your father Pygea who entrusted me to come over and let me take you back. Qin Luo completely ignored the words of Chief Bai Robed. Do you want to take away the sacrificial offerings of the gods? Come and drag this person out for me. When the white-robed man saw the pirate coming in, he knew that this person was not good, so he naturally prepared. Guard. Konus, come with me. Qin Luo smiled. God, come out and punish these ignorant humans. The white-robed man yelled wildly. Those who were kneeling on the ground were immediately silent. They knew that the angry god would kill many people. Scream, call your throat, and that stinky snake won't come out. Qin Luo gave a weird smile. At this moment, there was a loud noise in the sky, and everyone on the ground immediately looked up to the sky. At this time, there was a bird horse flying in the sky, with a bird head, bird wings, but a horse body. Sitting on this flying horse is a man dressed as a knight, wearing outdated armor and boots, holding a spear in his hand, and a knight hat on his head. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Chinese MTL fan fiction, second element novel can be read at hotmtl novel for free. Advertisement. Percent. Chapter 314. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Gone fewer. Qin Luo glanced suspiciously. Shouldn't this person be in the Holy Land? The war ghost was also dumbfounded. Shandia and Ganfer fought for more than 400 years, and they had never seen such a fierce fight, directly killing them at the place where they sacrificed. The rest of the young Shandia people also shivered and prayed devoutly on the ground. The man in the big robe was so frightened that he didn't dare to say it. It was the first time he faced Ganfer. The fighters who fought against each other before. From the mouths of those fighters, I also know that this person is extraordinary. Isn't this person trying to catch them all while they are out? It's a sinister intention. Isn't this person here to save Cornies? The war ghost Wipa secretly said, because he had captured Konus. However, as soon as they spoke, they knew they were wrong. Did you throw that big boa constrictor into the holy place? It made my holy place messy. The expression on Ganfor's face was extremely angry, and the stinky snake came and destroyed all the guide birds in the deep forest. Drive away, or eat up. The angry Ganfor couldn't distinguish the north from the south. As the god of Angel Island and the master of the Holy Land, when did he receive such arrogant provocations from the Shandia people? Is it tolerable or unbearable? Advertisement. While speaking, the muscles on his face had already twitched. The Kamui of their angel race will never allow outsiders to invade. Ganfor loves the people like a child, and his white robe hunts on the Pierre monster bird. After Ganfor is angry, he sees Cornies on the altar in random surprise and asks, Cornies, who kidnapped you here? Is it this hateful group of gorillas? God, please help me and take me to see my father. Ko Nisi's white clothes are now dappled and dirty. Ganfor delusionally imagined that group of Shandia chiefs. His eyes were full of anger, and even the children did not let go. Gorillas, you actually took my angelic people to sacrifice. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. He pulled the mount under him tightly. Pierce yelled twice, shaking his wings. The strong wind hovered, ready to go, and he might follow his master at any time. Invaders, get me out of our altar. Invaders, get me out of the altar. The war ghost Wipa stepped on the wind shell, a black shadow flashed, and rushed out. The surrounding Shandia people, wearing feathers, or smearing dark green on their bodies, shook the spear in his hand, and shook his mouth. Cheers. Dead. Invader. Wipa carried a large artillery on his shoulders, his eyes flushed, and a large artillery shot up into the sky and hit Pierce directly on the head. Ganfor's spear picked up and blocked Wipa's artillery hammering. Wipa couldn't make a hit. The reflexively shook the artillery and hit the opponent's artillery again. With his age and strength, he hit the opponent's artillery with bright flames. It burst out from the sharp weapons of both sides. Advertisement. Ganfor was even older, he missed a hit and quickly pulled back. His mount, Pierre, was already the fastest mount in the air. Peel the Pegasus bird, ate the horse fruit, opened the horse's mouth and wanted to take a bite of the Wipa in front of him. Ding. Wipa's artillery was directly provoked by a stab and flew away. I heard that your war ghost is the bloodline of the great warrior Kalgola 400 years ago. I saw it today, but it was so. Gon Fuer smiled. In fact, the kid in front of him was shocked by him. He was so firm and he was not afraid of it. The fighting man, if he grows for a few more years, he will definitely become an outstanding fighter of this group of gorillas. No, he must be dealt with here. It is a threat to their angel race, and he has to deal with it himself. Only in this way can the angel clan have a stable life, which is also the patriarchal tradition handed down by the gods in the past. I have seen you fighting with my uncle, with my father, with my grandfather, with my brother. Ask God. I have figured out your tricks. I stand by my father, my uncle, my grandfather. My brother gave you a heavy blow on the shoulder. You will feel extremely honored. Waipa slowly took off his clothes to reveal his strong chest muscles, but the most striking thing was that his right arm was completely wrapped in white gauze, and he slowly lifted his own right arm. He's going to use that trick. The chief showed a worried look. Those deep eyes stared at the child in front of him. He will be entrusted with a heavy responsibility in the future. Whether Shandia can regain the Holy Land depends on it. The abilities of the war ghost Vaipa. This person has wrapped so much gauze on his chest. He must be injured. Why should he take off the gauze now? Is there any secret weapon hidden in the gauze? Tautu hid in Qin Luo's arms and hugged him. Qin Luo. Qin Luo scrubbed her small waist, and stared at the decisive battle between Shandia and the angel race in front of her with a calm expression. Advertisement. That stinky boy is going to lose. Tautu complained that Qin Luo didn't reply to her, and nudged Qin Luo coquettishly. Little sister, look clearly, don't blink, there will be a wonderful duel next time. The old man is too old, with white hair, and his mount looks very unreliable at first sight. Black Jack has been famous for a long time. Of course I can see that the bandage kid is by no means easy. He glanced at the old man again, and saw that the old man was old and weak, and his mount was extremely ugly, and he felt that he would not have too much strength to show. No, the old man will win. Qin Luo stood among the Sandia crowd and said this lightly. Tautu took Qin Luo's arm and signaled to be careful. When the people around heard Qin Luo say this, they all glared. They took the guns that had already been fired and held them back in their hands. As long as the chief gave an order, they would pierce Qin Luo. Qin Luo shrugged indifferently. This group of people had no insight. They also said that they had been fighting with Gon Fuer for a lifetime, and 0.7 did not seem to recognize the situation. Ding. Taking off the bandage, the war ghost without artillery took the fire sword from the teammate next to him, and cut it out for 8 consecutive sword lights, and fell on the person. Explosive fire spattered from the fire sword and thrust. Coming out, every time the force fell, it directly shattered the surrounding clouds. Even after hammering many times, the power in the hands of the war ghost is still strong, even more powerful than when hammering with artillery before, directly smashing the surrounding clouds, and ramming Ganfor and Pierce directly into it many times. Inside a big cloud. Ganfor's expression gradually deepened. 20 minutes have passed since the battle. He didn't even have any chance to return. The opponent's arm became stronger as the battle became stronger, and the opponent completely relied on heavy blows, so he wouldn't be anxious to defend himself. A Fame and Destiny style of play. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Chinese MTL fan fiction, second element novel can be read at hotmtl novel for free. Advertisement. Percent. Chapter 315. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. The chief's eyes are so piercing that he has already seen that something is wrong. It's okay if Vaipa doesn't use that trick. If once the trick is used, if the effect cannot be achieved in a short period of time, Vaipa will not only have to lose but also have to bear a serious burden. The glory of the great warrior may no longer shine on Shandia at the price of the price. Restoring the Holy Land will only be a dream. Having dreamed for 400 years, how many last wishes the chief inherited from his ancestors, he absolutely does not want to let his Shandia people live in humiliation in Cloud Shinobi Village. With a wink, he motioned to Kamachilia to start to grab the little Corny's girl. Konus, come here, big brother. Qin Luo saw that the beauty embryo was about to fall into the hands of these people, and felt a bad feeling in his heart. In my memory, the chief had always been unscrupulous in order to achieve the purpose of restoring the Holy Land, even if Nisi was not sacrificed today, and other tragedies are expected to occur. Don't look at this white-robed chieftain with a benevolent look. He is burdened with the historical mission of completely recovering the Holy Land of Shandia. Compared with the great historical mission, the 17 lives of a little angel girl, what's the deal? But for Qin Luo, an outsider from the 21st century, the life of a girl is more important than the so-called recovery of the Holy Land. Qin Luo continued to take a step forward. To the altar. The so-called altars are just some old gray stones covered with scars. The stones are full of traces of erosion by time. The most central is the tribute platform. A stone stake stands on the tribute platform. Little girl Ko Nisi was watching the battle in front of him anxiously at this moment, shaking with fear at the tragic fate he might face. A pair of small eyes was frightened at a loss. This makes Qin Luo want to speed up the pace to approach her, give him a warm embrace, and take her home. Qinghai pirate, you have entered our territory today, and you dare to interfere in the war between our Sandia people and the angel race, and you must be enlightened to death. The white-robed chief showed a hideous look. Sandias. The soldiers stepped on Feng Bei, holding artillery and fire swords in their hands. Advertisement. Suddenly, more than 20 Shandia fighters appeared, and they surrounded Qin Luo. Friends in Qinghai, how are we working together? Then you can stay on the island and be the captain of the beret. Ganfer threw out an olive branch. Ganfer came to the location of Shandia now alone. He disturbed his holy place because of the big snake, damaging the guide birds in the Holy Land, and ate or drove the guide birds away. Ganfer caught angrily. Raising the weapon, riding Pierce rushed out, rushing all the way to the place where the Shandia people worshipped. Only after exerting his spirit did he find that he was trapped in the enemy's camp and was weak. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Qin Luo shook his head. Then be a priest. Ganfer said. He was a squad captain in a beret and then a priest, working hard for everyone to become a god. Under the gods is a priest, but a quite powerful official position on Angel Island. He regretted it a little bit as soon as he exited, and the exit was too fast. Even if the kid had the ability, his qualifications would not be met. Priest. The people in Shandia were shocked, and they didn't expect the man in front of them to be a priest. We must know how many brave warriors of their Shandia had stopped at the opposing priest during several wars. No. Are you a beggar for our boss? Haven't you heard of my boss when I killed the Holy Land, killed 5 elders, and destroyed the world government? Taotu looked awkward, and wrapped her waist charmingly on Qin Luo's body. Even in the public, Taotu wouldn't think there was anything wrong. After all, this was her man. Advertisement. Her man worshipped Roger, drank with the old man Whitebeard, killed 5 elders, destroyed the Holy Land, and destroyed the existence of the world government. How could he be a small priest? Do you want to sit in my seat? Ganfer said, laughing wildly. Now young people really dare to think about it. What world government? What Holy Land? What 5 elders? Ganfer really hasn't heard of them. Those pirates from Qinghai have been driven out of Angel Island by them, so Ganfer really hasn't heard of Qinghai. The power system and regime system inside. No. Qin Luo closed his eyes, as if he didn't care about the other's answer, and said in a certain tone, if I have to give me a position, I will also be your god. Ha! Do you want to be the god of my Angel Island? Ganfer grinned with anger. No, Qin Luo said, I am going to be the god of Shandia and Angel Island. The entire empty island belongs to me. It seems good to rule the empty island. It is difficult for outsiders to invade here, and there is a lot of gold and treasure. Will I dominate the whole land, sea and air by then? It's interesting. Even if you want to be the body of the island, you must first protect all kinds of vulnerable groups, especially the beautiful little angel girls. Suddenly Qin Luo felt that the flesh on his waist was about to be pinched into flowers. Turning his head, I saw the peach rabbit with a grieving face looking at him maliciously. Oh, you want to be the god of Shandia, then what am I? The white-robed chief asked. In the eyes of the chief of the white robe, Qin Luo was too arrogant and wanted to be ironic. He is the spiritual leader of Shandia, and the Shandia warriors who are in control, tell them to go east, and the warriors will never go west. The people of Shandia have always obeyed the rule of the chief, except for the sacrifice of 163, the chief is almost no different from the gods to these people in peacetime. And now that Qin Luo wants to become the god above him, doesn't this mean to seize his power? Advertisement. The scene was very quiet for a while, and the man in front of him was beyond everyone's expectations. There are not many people who can be so arrogant, but don't just be bragging. You count as a root hair. Qin Luo said coldly. This white-robed chief specially cheats the ignorant girl, and he has done his best to not throw this person into the mouth of the boa constrictor. Just now I wanted to throw a little girl like Corny's into the big python's belly. If he hadn't thrown the stinky snake out in advance, now Corny's might have become the food in others' stomachs. Pirates of Qinghai, I want to kill you. The warriors of Shandia opened fire on me. Seeing this, the chief of the white robe directly made people move, and he quickly backed away. Shandia's warrior raised the artillery and fire sword in his hand, and the muzzle of the sword was directly at Qin Luo. Master Wizard, please forgive me for my disrespect. The war ghost Waipa is a hospitable warrior, who recognizes Qin Luo's personality and strength. Wipa, you are too scared. Step back and let other Shandia warriors take the lead in the charge. The chief said. War Ghost wanted to explain. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Chinese MTL fan fiction, second element novel can be read at hotmtl novel for free. Advertisement. Percent. Chapter 316. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. You have lost your courage. You will only drag down the other Sandia fighters. After the battle, go back and reflect on it. If there is a plague in the tribe in the future, it is because God saw your cowardice and condemned us. The chief had an extremely pious look, as if praying. It's okay, let me go together. Qin Luo looked indifferent. If you don't go, then I will go. Qin Luo's whole body muscles bulged up, raising his physical strength to the full level, and the opposing artillery bombarded it directly, and his right arm directly became bigger. Boom. A hammer passed, regardless of whether the artillery fired or not. The artillery shells and the people holding the artillery were directly blown away by a giant fist like a big clock. You have the power of a god. The expression on the face of the praying mantis Kamachili was the same as if he had eaten Wonglian. This guy's arms can still grow bigger, how can this be dealt with? Go on. This kid must have eaten devil fruit. They are land ducks in Qinghai. They are not gods at all. They are pirates who infringed on the territory of our Sky Island. They are cruel pirates. The chief raised his head. The black hair was covered by white feathers, and the feathers trembled when they spoke. He is very knowledgeable, and many pirates washed up on the island in the early years. From the mouths of the pirates who returned from the captives, they learned that there is a fruit ability like devil fruit. But when Qin Luo's hand was startled, people around him immediately surrounded the chief. This kid must have done his best to make this move. Our continuous offensive will definitely consume this person's energy. Bram, who didn't know when he returned, joined the chief to fan the flames. He used a trick to frame Qin Luo just now, and almost couldn't come back. After flying outside, if he hadn't been for the mighty power of the people who robbed Angel Island with his wit, he might still be floating on the sea this time. Advertisement. I just did a warm-up exercise. Qin Luo said blankly. For Qin Luo, no matter how many small fish and shrimps come, they are still small fish and shrimps. It makes no difference. I didn't try my best. I'm afraid I will kill all of you as soon as I make a move. So if I make a short island in the future, the commander of Bear Rods is not good. The mountain ghost once again saw the unpredictable power of the great wizard in front of him, and he was very unwilling to be an enemy of Qin Luo in his heart. If the mountain ghost followed the great wizard in front of him to learn his abilities, he knew that after 7 or 8 years of practice, he would surely be able to knock this Ganfuer out of the horizon. Go. The chief winked at Na Bram, with a clear meaning. Hisaishi asked Bram to control the little girl. As long as the little girl was in his hands, the pirate from Qinghai could not help being there. It's arrogant here. Bram met the windshield the most, and secretly made insidious tricks. He was hit by Qin Luo and flew out of Cloud Shinobi Village, causing him to hate Qin Luo abnormally. Now that the Sandia warriors have been completely angered, this kid is estimated to be alive soon. It's a good method. Gong Fu's eyes sharply spotted the man who claimed to be a god of the sea, land and air. Judging from the opponent's shots, this person must be a power-type person. On the opposite, we must pay attention to the opponent's huge skills. Mountain Ghost, come on to me. The chief saw that the mountain ghost wanted to step back again. Why didn't this kid lose the momentum of the bloody fight against Ganfor just now? Ding. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. The mountain ghost mounted a cannon and directly bombarded Qin Luo's body. The light of a cannon fell directly behind Qin Luo, forcing the latter to turn back and defend behind him. The mountain ghost must be responsible for his country, and he cannot violate the chief's order. So he can only take up the cannon in his hand and start fighting. Mountain ghost, take the move. Qin Luo raised his hand and shouted that his body was at full level, bullied himself up, shot with his fist, rolled up with a powerful force, and rolled a punch to the mountain ghost. On the body, the mountain ghost also got a punch. Hoo-hoo. The people around were swept away by the strong wind, and the body was involuntarily taken away by the wind. Advertisement. So strong. The mountain ghost was knocked to the ground with a punch, spit out a mouthful of blood. Like Xiaoqiang from Immune to Death, he turned over and stood up, with dozens of bandages in his hands. Master Wizard, please advise. Shanggui's mentality has been adjusted. He knows that Qin Luo does not intend to kill him now. This is the way that fighters can breathe each other. The closer their abilities are, the more they feel sorry for each other. Bump. The mountain ghost lied to the front. Since the bandage was torn, a white shell was exposed on the knee. The mountain ghost trembling and bombarded the past, and the surrounding clouds shattered directly. The mountain breeze hunted and thunder was in the dark clouds. During the gestation, restlessness. Qin Luo fisted up, and the two fists directly collided in midair. Suddenly, a strong and impulsive burst from the mountain ghost. Qin Luo's finger bones hurt, and Qin Luo was forced to fill his body with full energy points. Make up for the fault. The mountain ghost chased him closely, and every attack was as fierce as the first attack. It's a shock shell. Qin Luo finally remembered that the strongest move of the mountain ghost is to directly launch the strongest impact through the impact shell on the elbow. In one piece, the mountain ghost almost killed Analu with one blow. The clouds in the sky left several scratches, which were all traces of the channel that shot the mountain ghost out. The two intertwined in midair like shooting stars, and the two were chased by powerful energy. Mountain ghost! Shouted the people in Sandia below. Boss! Tautu shouted anxiously. He didn't understand why the boss is so strong, why he has been on the defensive and always let go, and sooner or later he will be at a disadvantage. It seems that someone is worried about me, so I won't play with you. Qin Luo smiled awkwardly. The whole body of the mountain ghost was bloody, and the bandages were completely torn apart. The bandages on the joints cracked directly. The mountain ghost didn't feel the pain at all. He ran up again, and the surrounding clouds were stained red by the blood of the mountain ghost, hunting. The roaring mountain breeze was blowing on the soldiers' faces. Advertisement. Qin Luo had no choice but to stun this desperate mountain ghost first. You can control the power in your hand and shoot directly. With a scream, a spear pierced directly through Qin Luo's back. Qin Luo felt a shady attack coming from behind and had to turn over and avoid it. The spear was waiting for Qin Luo to push away, and there were 7 or 8 punctures. They shot twice from Qin Luo's top, bottom, left, and right directions. The speed was so fast that Qin Luo, who was too fast to touch the defense, would be a little messy. For a moment. Boom. Qin Luo found the opportunity and punched Ganfuer, who was dressed up as a knight, with a spear on his chest, and his fist fell into the middle of the spear accurately. The battle between the two seemed ordinary, but they had fought for no less than 100 rounds in just 2 minutes. When the fist and the spear met, a strong coercion overflowed from the energy, and the weaker people around him passed out. What is your ability? Why can you always avoid my puncture every time? Ganfuer wiped the blood from the corners of his mouth. Just hit it. Don't talk so much nonsense. Qin Luo turned into a streamer and rushed out. He wanted to try where this Ganfuer could go now. Ganfuer clamped Pier's lower abdomen on his feet. Tianma was struggling and strenuously took a shot. With the assistance of Pierce, Ganfuer turned into a streamer. Qin Luo's streamer directly hit in midair. Ordinary people can't see how the two people get started, and they can't see how they make moves with each other. They only see the two lights flying and colliding. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Chinese MTL fan fiction, second element novel can be read at hotmtl novel for free. Advertisement. Percent. Chapter 317. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Ganfuer, as a god, is naturally capable of defeating war ghosts in one blow. Although Ganfuer does not have armament haki on his body, the opponent has a high-speed battle mount and observation haki Shinzuna, which is basically invincible. Pirates of Qinghai, tell me the purpose of your coming to Angel Island. But no matter how Ganfu pierces and penetrates the enemy, there is no way to injure a single hair of Qin Luo. This is Ganfu's mercy, not kill Qin Luo with all his strength. Of course it is a golden city. As the king of land, sea and air, Qin Luo symbolizes kingship. Of course, it is the holy land that everyone in Nakan Island wants, and it is also the location of the golden city. Only when you get there, you can only stay there. Qin Luo can call the king of the Sky Island, where the kingship is, no one dares to commit. Then, let me tell you, you are dreaming. The Holy Land that every generation of God will protect from generation to generation, is the place where each generation of God rests. We will never let you pirates of Qinghai succeed. Ganfuer flashed his spear quickly, and his eyes gradually flickered with anger. The pirates who came from the Blue Sea wanted to find the Golden City and often disturbed the angels on the Sky Island. Some people broke into the Holy Land. It was the Holy Land of Angel Island. Not everyone can enter, but this group of pirates who were fascinated by gold and had their eyes on 087 stepped in, eagerly and cruelly trying to rush in, even at any cost. Kill the people of Angel Island. Dreaming. This is ridiculous. You are the god of the Sky Island, don't you live in the Holy Land? If I become the god of your Sky Island, can't I become the master of the Holy Land? Bow down to me, Ganfuer. Qin Luo flipped his hands and rubbed, staggering the sharp bee sting of the opponent. Dreaming. Ganfuer was extremely angry. The gun in his hand accelerated again, his feet were added to the mount, and Pierre made a strange cry, and his whole body flashed like a phantom, his marksmanship getting faster and faster, like a storm in the early morning, one by one directly pierced into the opponent's heart, bringing up the dark clouds around and bleak, and the bee stings fell, like the stars in the sky. Advertisement. Base. Your body is very fast. I don't know if you ate some devil fruit, but if you want to oppose me in the sky domain at speed, you think too much, you can't be my opponent with Pierce. Your Sky Island God's dream is about to end here. Wanjong Ray came out of the gun's hair. Although Qin Luo's posture is very fast, Ganfuer believes that he can move faster. Moreover, Qin Luo regressed more and more, which also confirmed his thoughts. Stab. Thorn. Careful assassination in the past, you can definitely stab the arrogant boy in front of you. This shot must pierce the opponent's arrogance and the so-called daydream directly. Fast. Fast. A gust of wind was generated from around Ganfuer, and the air around Ganfuer was stirred by the gun. The gust of wind roared and spewed out directly along the center of the gun head, turning into a long tornado, surrounding Ganfuer continuously. Rotating, even some of the clouds close to Ganfuer were crushed directly. The Sandia warriors beside them did not dare to relax in midair. Several of them were swept into the storm and were directly caught in the wind. Torn the body. Amazing marksmanship. The mountain ghost has fought with Ganfuer so many times, and it is the first time to see Ganfuer's marksmanship used so fast. I have secretly calculated that the opponent has never fought himself before. Do your best. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Why is this? Is it because you still can't become a person like a great warrior? Don't you deserve to be that man's enemy? Mountain ghosts do it. Anyone who wants to climb on top of our heads, kill my god, or even rob my god is the enemy of all Shandia warriors. We fight to the last moment, we are all God's children. Warriors of Sandia, let's do it. Drive out the man who insulted my god from the sky. At this moment, he was still paying attention to the war chief, and all the Sandia warriors hurriedly got up. If Ganfuer was their enemy all the time, now the pirates of Qinghai are their most nervous enemy. Their god, the boa constrictor, was just thrown away, which is a great insult. Advertisement. This news was told by Bram, who just came back, and it was definitely a shameful shame to the Shandia people. I must sacrifice the head of this Qinghai pirate to my god. Shangui tightened his lips. He knew that the gods of the Shandia people were inviolable. Even the approved Qin Luo would never invade the gods. All the Shandia warriors had hovered up in the sky, and the war was about to start. The mountain ghost took off the white gauze wrapped around his arm, and the place where a white shell was wrapped around the arm was already covered with bloodline. I can use it again. The mountain ghost whispered in the air. He knew that the load capacity of his arm had reached the limit, and at most he could send out another full blow like just now. This was the mountain ghost's last chance. After one blow, he might die. For the glory of the great warrior, death is not hesitated. The mountain ghost leapt into the air, and the fengfengbei under his feet made the sound of rubbing the air, and the pusher mountain ghost moved quickly. The mountain ghost jumped up, and a large storm had formed around Qin Luo and Ganfuer in front of them. The two of them happened to be in the middle of the storm. Leaping into the battle circle, holding a sigh of relief, and crossing directly to the center of the eye of the storm, I saw Qin Luo still retreating in the eye of the storm. The mountain ghost crossed Ganfuer and quickly attacked Qin Luo from the side. Not attacking, just wanting to wrap up Qin Luo, and then make the strongest blow to Qin Luo's heart. Advertisement. Kill. A blood stain flashed in Shangui's eyes, and every time he shot, a blood stain flowed from his arm. Shandia warrior. Warrior glory. This is what he wants to stick to even death. Faith. Become an unyielding fighter. How do you become a warrior like this? You don't have so much. How did you lead the Shandia people to restore the Holy Land? God will not take in abandoned children. The survival of the weak in this world is the punishment God bestows on our people. You are the weakest warrior ever. The teachers of Shandia encountered in the past struggles are the teachers who specially train the blood of each great warrior. They all have a very dissatisfaction with the mountain ghost and think that he is the weakest of the descendants of the great warriors. Even the eyes of the mountain ghost Wipa were full of contempt. Silky bloodstains entangled the mountain ghost's bloodshot eyes were all over, and bloodthirsty flickered from the eyes. At this moment, there is no Ganfuer in the world, no violent storms, and only the one in front of him prevents him from becoming the glorious young man of the great warrior. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Chinese MTL fan fiction, second element novel can be read at hotmtl novel for free. Advertisement. Percent. Chapter 318. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Qin Luo's physical body is at full level and he is extremely fast. He keeps retreating in the center of the storm, and cannot help showing a strange light on his face as he sees the two people who form a joint attack in front of him. If you defeat them casually, they may surrender to you for a while, but if the opponent does their best and still can't do anything, then you can make the opponent lose again at this time, and it is very likely that the opponent will completely surrender. Pouch. Ganfur stabbed Qin Luo with a single shot, and the fast attack finally yielded benefits. This gun stabbed Qin Luo sturdily, and the sensuality from the tip of the gun indicated that the gun was stabbed. In addition to anger, Ganfur's eyes were more excited. This gun stabbed the opponent's lower abdomen firmly, and the tip of the gun firmly pressed against the opponent's lower abdomen. "You're not dead now." The face under Ganfur's helmet was cold and serious, unsmiling. These words were all squeezed out from the corners of his mouth, and his teeth were clenched tightly together. But suddenly, Ganfur saw the handsome one-eyed man in front of him, and he showed a heart-warming smile. Advertisement. Impossible. Impossible. Ganfur couldn't believe it. It was clear that his gun tip had deeply touched the opponent's lower abdomen. The upper abdomen was the softest part of the human body. The upper abdomen was pierced, and the opponent would never laugh. But the other party obviously just laughed. Ganfur rubbed his eyes. There is no trace of blood on the tip of the gun. I don't believe in evil. I don't believe in evil. Ganfu's spear straightened and shot again. One shot was as fast as one shot, extremely harsh, like a cold winter in the 12th lunar month, and the new wind roared past. Ah, the pirates of Qinghai see how crazy you are. Ganfu's shot was as fast as a shot. Each shot directly fell on Qin Luo's body, and each shot dropped a bullet hole on Qin Luo's body. The anger in his eyes became more and more proud. Want to win the Holy Land? Occupy Angel Island. Dream it. Just let him stab the Qinghai pirate directly one by one. The surrounding clouds continued to shatter, from top to bottom, stab Qin Luo violently, pushing Qin Luo down from the sky to the ground with one shot and one shot. When there was still 20 meters from the ground, the wooden pillar on the altar had been directly shaken, and it was picked up into fragments by a strong gun. The ground cracked, and there appeared fine cracks like spider webs. Let me smash your daydreams. Base. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. A shot stabbed Qin Luo and directly nailed Qin Luo to the ground. A large area of cobweb-like cracks spread out from under Qin Luo's body, raising a large patch of dust, and all living creatures around stopped instantly. The breathing is the same, and the quietness is abnormal. Great warrior waterfall punch. The mountain ghost then said. The red eyes showed that the mountain ghost in front of him had completely lost his rationality. He was about to complete the strongest blow as a great warrior. The continuous fist wind fell on Qin Luo's body, spreading on the ground. The cracks directly bounced the stone up, and one by one was shaken and flew up. Advertisement. Ah. Pressed his hands on Qin Luo's chest. A powerful white light gushed from the mountain ghost's elbow. The strong vibration force made the mountain ghost's heart miss a beat. A powerful impact. The impact came from the elbow, and it was transmitted to the arm, and the touch was applied to Qin Luo's chest. Bump. Under the strong and counter-shock force, the mountain ghost flung out like a kite with a broken wire, and turned into a kite that flew out automatically without wind. The powerful sequelae instantly hit the mountain ghost's chest, and the tingling immediately pierced from the elbow along the arm's meridian. The dark clouds in the sky gathered, and large tracts of rain fell. After successive thunders, the raindrops fell on everyone's face, and fell on the one who was covered with the beating. Rain on the man's face. No. Impossible. Qin Luo, stand up. There was a trace of tears in Taotu's eyes. This is not true. It is definitely not true. He is a man who came out of Impel Down. Black Jack also opened his eyes wide, his mouth widened, and he was speechless in surprise. In such a situation, the shock shell of the war ghost came directly to the chest like this. Even if it is a true god, it is impossible to survive. Unexpectedly, Qin Luo, who was so powerful and disturbed the old men of the world government and the Holy Land, died in the hands of the people on the Sky Island. He's dead. The pirate in Qinghai is dead. The expression on Ganfur's face directly solidified. At this time, he felt a trace of unreal existence. The man's arrogant tone still echoed on him. In his ears, he was already lying in front of him now. No one on the island has been able to hit him. Ganfur. He is defeated. Is he defeated? The ghost of the war was tragically supported, getting closer and closer. He wanted to see the fact that he had personally proved that he was stronger than the descendants of the previous great warriors. In order to hone his arm, he reconnected it after breaking it many times, and bandaged it after bleeding many times. Those old men will never say that they are the descendants of the weakest warriors, never again. When the real victory came, the humiliation in the past turned into all the blood and tears streaming down the young soldier's face. Advertisement. God, you are the one who supported me in secret. once again letting the Shandia tribe save the danger. Today this arrogant Qinghai pirate let him be your sacrifice. God, come out, he is on the platform at this moment. The chief chanted some ancient Shandia mantras frantically, and obscure words burst out from the old man, making people feel unbelievable. The chief immediately ordered someone to bring hemp rope to grab the man and tie it round and round to the altar. It was wrapped like a corpse of a big zongzi, not moving at all. No one noticed that the eyes wrapped in Qin Luo's turban were unusually bright, emitting a strange light, that kind of bloodthirsty eyes, so bright. There was a burst of cold light, and the coldness was like a sword, able to peel the cramps of the few people in front of him. However, no one at the scene found that they had been written into the Book of Life and Death by Shinigami, and had already slashed the names of these people with a sword. They are still immersed in joy, and have no premonition of the dangers in the future. Chooch. Following the ancient obscure language, as if it had the ability to summon the most evil god in the world, a mysterious voice slowly approached from a distance. The surrounding Shandia people put their hands on their chests and knelt on one knee, and some even crawled on the ground, preparing for a grand sacrifice. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Chinese MTL fan fiction, second element novel can be read at hotmtl novel for free. Advertisement. Percent. Chapter 319. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. At this moment, a head protruded from the surrounding trees and forest. A dark green giant python with 3 sarcomas on its head snaked over and fumbled over. It stretched out its nose and sucked at the altar. After confirming that there was no problem, the person on the top who was wrapped in a zongzi shape opened his blood basin with a double cry. Eat. He ate Qin Luo in one bite. Raising his head and yelling twice, he slid Qin Luo from his throat into his stomach. Haha, the arrogant Qinghai pirate, this time you are not dead. Shangui, thanks to your blow. Next we will march into the Holy Land, restore the Holy Land, and under the blessing of God, Shandia is revived. The chief hated this young man so much that he didn't put his god in his eyes at all, and even threw their Shandia god out. He was also the happiest laugh among all the people. The god gave the mountain ghost power, defeated this person, and ate this person as a sacrifice. The people of Shandia will only trust the gods more, and he will be able to control Shandia through the gods in the future. Whoever disapproves of them will use the will of the gods to eliminate them. Ha ha ha. He laughed arrogantly. Everyone present was rejoicing. Everyone felt extremely excited because of the victory in this battle for the gods. Their god of Shandia was indeed the most powerful god. Rubbish. Advertisement. The chief was chanting obscure words and suddenly a voice came from the belly of the giant python. All the Sandia people were devoutly listening to the chief chanting prayer mantras. I just seemed to hear a voice in the abdomen of a boa constrictor. Gon Fuer said suddenly. It was a very weak voice. It seemed to be a voice that came out through layers of obstacles. This voice fell off when it came out. When it reached his ears, the voice was so weak that he felt that he was auditory hallucinations. Yeah, Pierce seemed to call out in response. Shut up. Predator Ganfer. The chief said because the other party actually said rudely when praying, especially when the other party said that he heard the snake's belly, as the name of the snake named you. You should be called a god. Let's talk about it. The man has been beaten to death by the mountain ghost Wayapa just now. The dead man can't speak. Even if he is really alive, he can't move when eaten into the stomach of God tier. After a few days, he will directly turn into stomach acid. The pirate in Qinghai seems not dead, he has spoken. Ganfer pointed to the big python tremblingly, and said with trembling in his mouth. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Gon Fuer, are you afraid of our gods? You are afraid, you want to surrender to our gods. It doesn't matter if you say it, you don't need to say anything. Qinghai pirates don't have any excuses like death to show us weakness. Because this is too illogical, the Qinghai pirate has become a corpse. How can a corpse speak? The chief and Gon Fuer looked at each other, and then sarcastically as a victor. Some Gon Fuer. The chief comforted himself, and just when he dispelled his fear, a wild laugh came from the direction of the big python. Too rubbish, the empty island is all rubbish. As if in order to completely hit the chief's face in front of him, a dismissive voice came from somewhere. This voice was even colder, like the sound made by Shinigami from hell rubbing his sickle against the cold wall, calling people trembled all over. No, it's impossible. Bram, go see what happened. The chief was in disbelief. He obviously saw the mountain ghost directly hit Qin Luo's chest with a shock shell before killing that Qin Luo. His heart stopped and gave a fatal blow. Naturally, he didn't believe it and asked Bram to come forward and visit. Advertisement. Bram took a step back in tremor. He didn't dare to go up and visit. If the Qinghai pirate did not die and became angry, it would not be something he could bear. Who? Pretend to be a ghost here. The chief turned around abruptly and shouted to the people around him. Hee, old man, do you think that a mere python wants to trap me? You show me clearly. At this time, Qin Luo's voice fell on the chief's ears word by word, like a stubborn hammer, hammering on the chief's chest. He froze, turning his head in disbelief, as if he heard it. The scariest words in the world. Ouch. Without warning, the arrogant python squirmed constantly on the throat, twisted and struggled on the ground, and the speed of the throat squirming accelerated. After a while, the arrogant python directly opened its blood basin and its flesh body was fully protected. Qin Luo walked out of the blood bowl. He grew up lightly, just as easy as walking out of the door of the Grand View Garden. He put the rope tied to his body on the front teeth of the boa constrictor's mouth. Qin Luo turned over and stood on the boa constrictor's body, shaking gently. The rope in his hands was like a rein on a horse's body. The same, set on the body of the boa constrictor. The chief just turned his head and saw this scene, a scene where even a god would surrender. A flash of light flashed, and a shiny Shinigami fist fell directly on the chief's abdomen. What? The chief didn't have time to shout out. His abdomen seemed to be directly stabbed by a 9-tooth rake. Obviously, the trick was only in the abdomen, but the internal organs seemed to be hit by a rake, and a heart-piercing pain spread out from the rake. While breathing, the chief's face was convulsive and twisted. His face was like gold paper, and he was breathing cold breath in his mouth. Advertisement. Bump. The chief was subjected to this strong tremor and immediately turned into a streamer and flew out. Flew to the boundless sky. I don't know if I can come back. The corner of Qin Luo's mouth evokes an arc, and his figure is standing in the center of the altar where the chief just stood. The highest position is 5.0. At this moment, the sky is showered with a golden light of sunset, and Qin Luo's body is carrying the light. The shape fell in the eyes of everyone like a divine residence, and anyone who was close could feel that Shinigami's sickle was placed on their necks. The pirate of Qinghai. You, aren't you dead? What is going on? Gonfuer's face was still unbelievable, and there was a silver helmet on his cold face, but he still couldn't resist the cold assault from Qin Luo's fear, and he shuddered unnaturally when he spoke. An aura of despair enveloped the boundless sky. No matter how big the sky is, after escaping, it is very likely that Qin Luo will be directly killed by Qin Luo. Call out. Qin Luo, who is at the full level of protection, raised his hands above his head, squeezed into fists, slammed on the ground, and rushed directly to kill him. Crescent Moon Sky Chong No Moon. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Chinese MTL fan fiction, second element novel can be read at hotmtl novel for free. Advertisement. 2%. Chapter 320. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Crescent Moon Sky Chong No Moon. The body is bowed like a crescent moon, launching itself as a crescent. The streamer flashed, and the fist fell directly on the man's chest. What? A hissing roar came out of his mouth. The tearing pain directly tore his chest. The heart had blossomed and turned into a trash organ. In an instant, a sharp sword-like pain spread from his chest, emanating like a spider web. The shadow of death enveloped him with severe pain. Want to run? Come back. 20 segments of gravity. Qin Luo saw that this person was about to be blasted away by his physical body full-level protective punch, and immediately pulled the person back with gravity. Then, Gonfuer and Pierre were both controlled by the god of destiny. He couldn't help himself, but was directly pulled back by Qin Luo's gravitational force. Advertisement. With a touch, Qin Luo's full-scale iron fist flashed with black light, and he fell directly to the ground with Pierce. Gonfuer and Pierre turned over, turned a few somersaults, and fell on the altar in just 13 seconds, smashing the altar into a sparse, dense spider web spreading on the large granite. Gonfuer landed. A blood sword could not cover his mouth and sprayed out directly. You didn't die. Obviously the Qinghai pirate just now stabbed me with a spear. You are dead. Who are you? You are not the Qinghai pirate just now. Gonfuer's mount Pierre moved back slowly in fear. A rock was slammed under his foot, and Pierre fell directly to the ground. Gonfuer's face was shocked. Qin Luo's eyes as soon as it condensed, the faint blue pupils reflected the icy blue tip of the sword, gleaming with a cold killing intent. Keep your eyes open and see clearly. Am I the original pirate? Qin Luo's voice is extremely flat, as if talking about something unrelated to him. Your attack just now was really weak. I'm embarrassed to give it an adjective, probably only the word weak chicken is worthy of you. Qin Luo pulled Gonfuer off the mount with both hands. Gonfuer lost all strength and was lifted up easily by Qin Luo. Let's talk. You guys were very cool just now, right? Now, it's my home turn. How are you going to die? Qin Luo looked up at the person who was lifted up by him, as if he was picking up from the pet market. A rabbit was placed in the light and looked at the color of the rabbit. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Even after a layer of mask, Gonfuer could feel the cold light. He panicked and said, me, pirate. No, this is just a misunderstanding. Ganfer wanted to explain something, but before Qin Luo waited for the other party to finish, the arm that fell on Ganfer's throat tightened again. Misunderstanding. You told me that you said I was going to be the king of the three realms of land, sea and air. You said I was daydreaming. Didn't you say that? The power on Qin Luo's arm gradually tightened, and Ganfer fell into a Jedi crisis. I wanted to explain, but I couldn't make a word hoarse in my throat. My lord, I mean I am daydreaming, how could it be you? You must have heard it wrong. Gonfuer squeezed these words out of his throat, his face full of horror. In case Qin Luo didn't press it carefully, it is very likely that he will stop cooking directly. Advertisement. It's not that he doesn't know Qin Luo's arrogance and domineering, the extreme horror power that he just demonstrated has made him feel terrified. Huh, you got it wrong. How could I get it wrong? Tell me how I got it wrong. If you want to apologize, you can save it for the rest of your life. When the voice fell, the strength on Qin Luo's arm gradually increased. Gonfuer's face was like gold paper, and his eyes were spit out black, and gradually lost its luster, like a salted fish that had lost his dream. In the name of my angel island god, I have never said it. Besides, I am over 100 years old, and half of my feet are in the coffin. There is no reason not to think about myself and make such an act. Death. In order to survive, Gonfuer had to use his honor for the rest of his life as a bet to dispel Qin Luo's doubts. The rest of your life. Would you like me to help you and step directly into the coffin? Qin Luo grabbed the man's throat and prepared to twist his neck with all his might, turning the man's neck into a headless corpse. Slow. Whatever you want, I promise you. Gonfuer hurriedly squeezed these words from his throat, because in the next second he didn't know if he could still live in this world. His stern face had lost its original luster at this time, his tall and straight figure, at this moment, it became extremely small, and the soldiers approached the city to make imperfections. As long as Qin Luo exerts a gentle force, he will say goodbye to the world. Oh, if you want to say that, then I would be more respectful than fate. Qin Luo's original purpose was to want the other party to surrender to himself from the bottom of his heart. Now that the purpose has been achieved, Qin Luo naturally does not need to kill people. Come to die your own hands. When he loosened his hand, he let go of the man. Ganfer quickly rubbed his hands on his throat to assist in breathing, and he breathed in the air. Advertisement. What I just said, I will be the god of your empty island. Do you have any questions? Qin Luo turned his back to Gonfuer on the ground. The latter was so scared that he just knelt down and begged for mercy. Luo felt a killing force, making him afraid to breathe. I will give you the position of god immediately. Gonfuer said immediately. The coldness of walking through the ghost gate just now is still on him, and he dare not say a word in 640. From now on, you don't need to step into the holy place for half a step. Qin Luo's words are not surprising, his voice is flat and has no ups and downs, but the few people behind him are already blank. No, it turned out to be two people talking. Gonfuer and the mountain ghost. If you close your eyes, you know that if the Holy Land falls into the hands of others, then their status on the empty island will be completely lost, and even if they die later, they will have no face to face their ancestors. Mountain Ghost, Gonfuer, do you think I am negotiating with you? Qin Luo's mouth is bloodthirsty, and the blue eyes are filled with ice and snow. Even if he has only one eye, he will be seen. The mountain ghost's legs felt weak at first glance. No, the Holy Land is us. The mountain ghost wanted to explain, but before the words came out in his throat, the whole person flew towards Qin Luo involuntarily, and a cold feeling came from his neck. There is no more sound from the throat. Mountain Ghost, have you seen the end of your old man? Don't you still admit that I am your god? Qin Luo slammed hard with both hands. The latter performed 2 impact attacks with his right hand, and fell directly limp, leaving the other hand desperately placed on Qin Luo's arm, struggling to release Qin Luo. Arm. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Chinese MTL fan fiction, second element novel can be read at hotmtlnovel for free. Advertisement.